knock on a door. Been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his, three's company too. Come and dance on our floor. Take a step that is new. Leave a lovable space that needs your face, three's company too. You'll see that life is a ball again, Latin is calling for you. Down at our rendezvous, three's company too.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna collect the rent this time. I'm not gonna get bamboozled by these girls in here. No. I'm going over there right now, and I'm gonna collect the rent. Yes. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Oh, here we go. That's better. I hear some noise. There's gotta be somebody there. Come on, don't pretend you're not home. It's awfully quiet in there.
Oh no! There's a knock on the door. Bob is here. He wants the rent. We gotta hide. Barb, Kelly, we gotta hide. Come on. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Don't let him know. Everybody just shh. Don't let him know we're here. Oh my goodness. Oh, how are we gonna do the world according to Kelly and Wanda if we gotta hide?
104? I think that was the doorbell. I wonder who's here. It's Bob. Shh. Somebody's gotta hide the cake. Every time he comes to the door, it's one stupid joke after another. I don't think I could take it again.
Oh, hi. I was just checking to see if your doorbell was working, because otherwise I would have given you a Nobel Prize. What does a pirate call cheap accommodations? Airbnb. What would you call a haunted house where the ghost can't pay the rent? Repossessed.
Oh, Mr. Southpaw. Hi. I guess you're wanting the rent. Wanda, Kelly, you guys have your rent?
Shh. Don't tell Bob we're home. Don't tell him we're here, because we don't have the rent. Instead, just tune in to the world according to Kelly and Wanda.
Down at our rendezvous, three is company too.
Are we live? We are so live. Everybody, it's Monday night and I'm by myself. I'm for just a little while because Wanda's a busy lady, so she's rounding up our guest and getting her all ready, which is Mae and Pedro. So Mae is not only a pinup girl and is a power woman, does many things. She's a model. She also plays with Pedro in the Generals, and we're going to have her on with when Wanda shows up because they're buddies. So of course we want to wait till they come on together. And then also we are hoping to get Laurie and Fuhr on. She's going to teach us how to write a poem on the spot. She's live on in a live location. So she's just getting that situated with technology, whatever. And you're in a pub, like, why do you want to, Why do you want to talk to us while you're out having fun? Anyways, and then also, we're gonna talk about some of the places that are opening up, like that's where Laurie is, and Water's Edge Pub is open, and that's where Wanda's working right now at this second. And then I was going to ask you guys something about, because it's so bloody cold outside, I wanted your comments on how cold it is. So, it's so cold. How cold is it? And then you're going to say, it's so cold, or give me one of those sayings that you used to say. So I asked my mom, I said, what's an old saying, like about being cold, how cold it is. And she said it's colder than a bastard out there. Anyways, that's her comment, I guess. And also I wanted to pose to you because I don't know, am I missing something? But I see people driving around in their cars with a mask on, and I'm not, why is this happening? I'm not sure, right? So, I wanted to ask, maybe, is there a reason that that's happening that I don't know about? I'm not sure. So let's talk about that. And of course, we do tarot card readings. I think I can do some tarot card readings on my own, so to speak, if I have to, but I will. No, just kidding. Anyways, I'm going to play a song for you that I recorded by myself because obviously we can't have bands. So I was my own band and I made my own video. And here it is. And then we'll come back and maybe Laurie will be here by then. Good times. Ooh.
Late and you come home early. You come home big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. So what in the world has come over? What in heaven's name have you done? Broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. I got a heart that burns with a fever. I got a worried and a jealous mind. How can a love that will last forever get left so far behind? So what in the world has come over you? What in heaven's name have you broken the speed and sound of loneliness? You're out there running just to be on the run. It's a mighty mean and a dreadful sorrow. It's crossed an evil line today. How can you ask about tomorrow when we ain't got one word to say? So what in the world has come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? Broken the speed and sound of loneliness.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Hold on. I'm like, all right, there we are. Oh,
See, there's still
so
a bit of a delay. Sorry about that.
I got a total story about like how cold it is.
Oh,
It's not a saying. Well, there's the one about brass monkeys. No. Brass, yeah, something like that.
I can't imagine brass monkeys being cold.
Well, I think I got it wrong, but it's something to do with the fact that the cup that used to hold the cannonballs in the warships back in the 16th, 17th century was made out of brass, and it would shrink at a different rate when it was cold than the cannonballs that it would hold, and so then the balls would be loose because the diameter was not the same, and that would be dangerous when the ship's rolling and tumbling because you don't want those things. You don't want loose balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially when they're loaded with explosives.
Well, at the time they weren't. They were just chunks of steel.
Oh, big mug. Well, they could go through a wall.
Right, but they weren't explosive per se. They were just a big steel ball, and they'd run it in the cannon, and that would just blast it off. Anyway,
what do you think happened to Laurie? We lost her, man.
I have no idea.
I'm sad about it. Like, I don't know what to say. I haven't. Oh, do you want me to come back?
Well, no, I totally.
She went home. She went home.
Oh, she went home.
Probably because she lives up the street, and she was out having a nice, yummy beer and having fun. It was cool that she was in that pub, but unfortunately, the audio didn't work that way.
Well, it was noisy. You can't like broadcast from a noisy place, and especially if we got.
Hello, I can see her. She's coming in. Here she is.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Hey, you made it. You must live close, hey?
I live really close to the Cat and Fiddle, but I was hoping for a better outcome than when I first popped on that wasn't around, and it didn't quite work out.
That's okay. I liked the idea of it, like being live, because it's the first night that everything's open. And so what were you doing there? Were you causing trouble or?
Well, my internet at home can be a little spotty, so I'm hoping it goes well tonight. But and I have been teaching on Zoom and stuff, but just very lately, I'm less trustworthy. So I was also hoping to use a kind of a better Wi-Fi. But I'm really sorry that I disappeared. I just thought I better get.
I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, so we just needed a little more time, but that's okay. It all worked out in the end, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we lost Bob. Bye, Bob.
Yeah, that's okay. You know what? I could hear his computer. He made that computer sound, and then which told me, yep, he's messing around with his. You know, he's a guy. He's like and a guitar player, which means they have to play with equipment and gear. You know, it's like that's their squirrel is technology and tone and gear.
And we both know that's the thing about Bob. Like, he's not afraid to get into gear. He's not one of these guys that's like, ew, guitars. Like, keep them away.
Yeah. several guitars and like pedal boards that look like Death Stars. You know, like it's like, wow, now that's a pedal board. How many pedals does he have on them? Probably 10.
And like it's a Lego Star Wars chess pedal board.
That's right, Lego. Yeah.
So there's lots of things coming off at weird angles that are kind of square.
Yeah. Well, he built his own custom kit for it. Weirdo. So tell me, I'm going to get Bob back in here, and maybe you could. Okay, so tonight I have videos of yours of you singing and playing. I'd love talking to other girls that play bass and sing, because I think that we never get to visit because we're always working separately. We're always still separately.
like sometimes literally like if Bob had a gig where you couldn't make it and I was there, we were each other's pokeroo, right?
That's right. See, like I've hired you to fill in for me before.
Yeah.
Yay.
So we don't get to coexist that much because we fill in for each other, and here we get to coexist and we're not taking each other's space, we're sharing space.
That's right. Okay, so here's Bob. Bob, hopefully you won't hear your computer sounds again.
Yeah, no, that's why I was trying to shut off, and
I get it. You shut yourself off.
I shut myself off.
Okay, so Laurie's going to explain one of our projects for the evening.
Okay.
And it doesn't involve each other swapping each other's spot.
No. But see, you've worked with both of us separately.
Well, yeah, and remember when I was doing the matinee at the border crossing, then I would have Laurie one week, and then I'd have you one week. I'd have Trody another week, and it'd be just so much fun to play with all y'all separately though. But it was
cool. It'd be cool if you, me, and Trody put together a trio. Like that would.
Oh my gosh! And we'll like, do we get to play with Bob on this trio, or do we have to like?
Well, I don't know.
Just to show him, just so he can be in the audience, we would put somebody else. So how do you make those little button things that go on the side of your head?
Oh, okay. I'll tell you. Look, I got my haircut today.
Like,
okay, so
everything's opposite land on this.
Yeah. So you make a ponytail, right? Oh, here, I actually have an elastic here. I'll show you.
I was like, I kind of had them prepped in a way, but that was
okay. So you make
today.
This is how you make those cute little buns that me and Wanda had. You make a ponytail.
So they're forget-me-nots.
No, first you make the ponytail. Then you get a second elastic. You wrap this around into a bun. And then you put the elastic on it. And then when you bring the elastic around the second time, you squish everything down.
So, but you know what ended up happening here, Kelly, is I got the Princess Leia got laid look.
I know. I'm kind of hungry for some donuts now.
Yeah, donuts. How about some Wendy's?
Here, Princess Leia, totally undone. It's the deconstructed Leia.
Yeah. Deconstructed.
As served by Massimo.
That's funny.
That turned out even more hideous than I could have imagined.
Yeah. So no, you need two elastics. One for the ponytail, and then you twist and wrap it around that, and then put another holder on. I
can make this happen. I'm so because the messy bun has had reign over this country and this world.
Yeah, the messy bun's over, and now it's the little blinky little pixie things, right?
It's like you could have got a hairband that had cat ears on it, but you were like, no, I can construct this at home without charging labor to children in foreign countries.
That's right. We don't want children working. Yes, we do.
That's not what we're about.
Okay, I will tell you one thing, though. As a parent, and my kids are grown, I think the more suffering they go through, the better they are.
I think I heard this last week. Oh my God! This is my double chin. How do you have that behind you? I don't. Yeah. You have whatever voodoo it was that James fellow had. The yachting friend. He had his whole band behind them. And they were free.
I know.
Yeah.
It was like.
Let me find out.
This freezing every time we'd freeze. Every time I played freeze frame, we had to go like the screen froze.
But nobody understood that they were supposed to stop. They were like, stop for a second, and then they start grooving because it's too groovy. It was like a slow torture of grooviness.
I think that was the best part is that you would look at other people and see how long, they looked frozen at some point.
Well,
Oh, I blinked, damn it.
Okay, so tell us what we're going to do. You're going to show us how to write a poem, or what is it?
Well, wait a minute. How did this all come about? The whole poem thing, like
Warren,
you wrote poem.
Okay, so how this happened was like before I got into writing songs, I was like poems. And then I got really into music for a while, and I sort of put it on the back burner. And then, oh look, it's only me. That's weird. But you're still here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. No techno fail. So then I did music, and then I was like, what about poems? So I ended up having the opportunity to have my book published, and conveniently I have a copy. Here it is.
There you go.
Night Flame. What's it about?
It's about growing up as a military brat and kind of being disassembled from your friends and family in the place that you live, and then trying to navigate whatever that did to you as an adult, as a young woman in my case. And I kind of floated from place to place and from relationship to relationship, perhaps.
You know, it's funny though, like you almost get into a groove where every time you move, you get to start like a clean slate and see if you can create a new person.
The weird thing was like that. When I lived in Germany, I was like the class clown. I could make everybody laugh. I was everybody's buddy. And I moved to Cold Lake, Alberta, grade 6. And then they didn't think I was cool. And I had my New Kids on the Block earrings, and that wasn't cool in Canada anymore. And I had my Northern Reflections double like track suit with the little picture of a country home on it. And they're like, that's not cool. I'm like, I'd never lived in a city. I'd only lived in small places and bases. And so this book is about the weirdness of that stuff. And what can you do besides just write some stuff about it?
Wanda's phoning me. Let's answer. I gotta put her on speaker. Hey, Wanda.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Laurie.
She can't wait to get home, hey? So she can be on the show.
I'm just leaving Twitter now, so I'll see you guys soon. Kelly, one question. Did you send Mae the link by any chance?
No.
I can do that.
Bob's doing it right now as we speak.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I will see you guys soon.
Okay. See you soon. Drive safe. Oh, I know.
Is Wanda coming?
Wanda? Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. She's just okay. So Wanda works at this pub in Prentice called the Water's Edge Pub, and
border crossings.
What's that? She works there too. Wanda's like
what?
I don't think she's human. I think she's a robot. Anyway, so she works many places. So that's one of her jobs. So they were looking for a server, and she called me and said, "Hey, want to come out and work in Prentice?" And I went, "Okay." So her and I work together in a pub there together. It's fun. so they're their first. I'm sorry, what?
We've got lag, so I don't mean to step on your toes. I was wondering if there's live music there when live music is allowed to be there.
Brenda is the owner, and she's totally gonna do that. They've had bands there before, so yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. I went to some random smaller places with Bob and played, and I forget what they were called now.
Oh, like Plato's?
Plato's. I think you filled in for me there. You filled in for me at Murdoch's. Oh, and you filled in for me in
at the venue in Cochrane.
The guy who hires the bands, the manager there, he loved you, and he's the one who said that you, me, and Trody should put together a band.
Oh, wow. Well, he's our buddy. I hope he's tuned in tonight. Hello.
Yeah. We stay in touch with him, but Yeah, you know, like everyone's trying to find a new route.
So
in business, they say we're pivoting. We're pivoting.
Yeah.
right. So how did it work out in the relationship side? Like just moving around, because I know when I moved around, I knew when I'd get a girlfriend, it'd be like within the last month of being there. I'd be at the same place for like 6 months, and it would be just flatlined completely. And then within the last month, and as I'm starting to pack my stuff up, then suddenly, boom. Then I'd find it, and then I'd have to every weekend go like drive however long it was from the old place to the new place, whatever. It was like invariable. Or jam situations. I like being in a place and it's like, this is so dead. There's nothing happening. And finally I find a jam, get on stage. Everybody's like, oh man, you got to come by next week. And it's like, sorry, I am on my way to like 200 miles away from here. Like,
but was it really the place, or was there something in there that the tarot would have revealed?
well, the moving around was just work related, right? So it'd be like the job lasted this long, and then you go back here, and then you work there for 6 months, and then you end up somewhere else to follow the project at whatever construction yard it was. And then when that was built, then you go back to Houston and whatever. Anyway, so there was a lot of moving around, and I always ended up with like long distance girlfriends because I couldn't find them when I got there. I'd only find them as I was just about to leave.
So you're telling me when we all go on tour, your wife's gonna have to look out because you're gonna go find the Mini of Memphis again. Just kidding.
Oh, we're so telling on him.
What happens on Kelly and Wanda stays here, right? Right?
Oh yeah, totally.
No.
Well, but we do have 1,000 viewers, so.
But no one's listening.
No one's listening. Oh, nice! See, they're just looking at Laurie's pretty hair.
The two of you.
So you're Laurie Ann, and I'll be Kelly Sue.
Kelly Sue.
Well, because that's my middle name.
And then there's Southpaw Sours. Where's that?
Yeah. Or Bob up and down, I think it is.
But it's funny, Bob, how you said that, because you know how I met my brief husband. I had maybe like a few weeks left in Winnipeg, and I was like 19 years old, and I met this fellow, and we chased each other around in Borealis bookstore, smooching and hiding and giggling, and next thing I knew, my dad was posted again, and off I went. And so just the same kind of luck, and he ended up following me to Calgary and becoming my brief husband. And that's now his nickname, because he was, unfortunately, that was the main characteristic of the husband, was that he was brief.
I had one of those.
That's why I was asking. Like, did the same thing happen to you, where you'd be moving around and suddenly it would be so the wrong time?
Well, and actually, I had just found this band called Breaking Syntax, which was kind of some kind of postmodern experimental band, and I became their singer. And the brief husband had been vying for the spot before we met each other. That's how we met each other. But we were both trying to be in that band. And anyways, fast forward many years later. Here I am in a relatively stable relationship somehow, for which I'm really grateful and surprised.
Okay, so tell me the name of your book again.
Oh, it is called Night Flying. It's from a local press called Frontenac, and I'm quite pleased that they some kind of thing that has them on it. Oh, there, Frontenac House. They just got the capacity for selling books on their website, so we don't have to go through frickin' Amazon.
Isn't that nice? Because you know what they do?
They take advantage of everyone and then grab them by the ass.
They don't love us like there. I put it on there. So now here I'll make it. I'll make it into something else special. So then while we're talking, people can see the name of your book and write it down, and that way they don't have to remember as quickly. Right?
So this thing with spontaneous poetry that I'm really meant to be telling you about.
Tell us
how
about it.
funny that is. I know.
It says buy Laurie's book, Night Flying.
Or this way.
Yeah, you got it. Boop, boop.
It's like skywriting, like a tiny little aircraft is going by, maybe with like James Guy in it, and he's like got a biplane, and he's speaking like
I think you were having a little fun at that pub there. No kidding. Okay, tell us about poetry. Tell us about it. Let's get going.
So I've done poems on demand or spontaneous poetry in the past, and I had decided to do a fundraiser. My dog needs some veterinary dental surgery that's expensive, so I decided to put a call out and say, to raise funds, I will write poems on demand. Send me a prompt of some kind.
Nice.
And then I realized it was terrifying. I'm like, what if I write something they don't like? So then a course came up right away through, believe it or not the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but the League of Canadian Poets.
Okay.
When you have a book, you can join up with them, and sometimes they give you opportunities to be a poet in the classroom, to go into schools, but particularly in Ontario, not so much out here.
That's too bad.
So they had a class. All of a sudden, I woke up on like Saturday morning at like 10:02 and looked at my phone. And as you know now, I'm quite very timely. At 10:02, it was like, here's this class on spontaneous poetry that you can join. How do you have that behind you, Bob?
I know, he's a weirdo. He likes technology. Remember I told you about him?
So they were like, we'll teach you how to do this. So a number of poets in Toronto, there's one called, I think, Kate Marshall Flaherty. She and some other poets got together, and they would go and set up a nice little station, and like Union Station in Toronto, or a nice little station at a marketplace, and people would come up and sit down, and they do a short interview with that person, just to ask them a few questions, get a little bit of information, maybe some turns of phrase, and then they take about 10 or 15 minutes to write a poem for that person while they go ahead and interact with the environment or whatever they're doing, get a coffee if they're in a cafe, and then they come back and here's your poem, right? And so they taught a little class with the league, people that have done this before, about what was effective for them and how to do the interview. And it was a lot of fun. And I wrote a poem for a lady out in Turtle Island. And she wrote a poem for me. And so then I was like, here's Kelly and Wanda, and they want to do a thing. And why not do poems? Why not? So what we could do is, if one of you is willing to be interviewed, I'd ask you a few questions, and then try to write something while you put on maybe some videos, some music videos.
Sure. So who do you want your test subject to be?
Oh, whoever can be, while I'm interviewing them, like, I guess, queuing up videos. Or okay, something like that. With that,
I have my mom here in the green room. You want to write a poem about her?
I could. Really? You have your mom?
Yeah. Here, I'll bring her up.
Oh here. My gosh, that's so exciting.
That's the tree the apple fell right from.
There's a story. I know, just kidding. Okay, ask her. So we should take notes while she answers the questions as well, and then we'll all come up with a poem for her. And then after that, she has 2 poems she's written that she's going to read for us.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Hey, my mom is a poet. Okay.
I did not realize that. That's great. Okay. Now I have a Word file at the available. Take some notes.
Okay, and her name is Jill. If you're
Jill,
wondering.
this is how to start it. So what's your name? Okay, Jill, tell me a little bit about your day.
Today's day?
Mhm.
Oh, well, I enjoy just taking advantage of making, instead of feeling bad about being in the house all the time and everything, I just do find things to make myself happy all through the day. And I got a really wonderful husband, and thank God we get along really good. So you wouldn't want to be tied up in this. But so I just have a lot of, and I am a poet anyway, and I just do that and keep busy with all that stuff and stay happy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And stay happy. And what sort of fine things do you do all through the day?
All through the day? Well, I go out and I feed the birds outside, and which I love to do. And I just fiddle around the house because I love being, I'm a home person anyway, and I like that. And I just find stuff to do to keep me busy all day and have a great life.
Have a great life. Okay. One of the things that poetry tries to do is to get more specific, and because in those specific details are the things that memories are made of. So when you say you fiddle around, do you have any like certain things that you're actually doing?
Or who
Yeah.
are you fiddling specifically?
Yeah, I'm a singer as well, and I keep busy just doing all the things. All the things that I really love is right at home, anyways. I find things to do to keep busy, and I don't ever get bored or anything, and I'm just happy. It's unusual, but
Like if there was a type of a thing that you were doing, what would it be?
if it was this one thing that I'd really like to do, you mean, other than?
No, you're always busy around the house, but like if you had to put a name to those things that you were doing, what kinds of, like, not just what kinds of like things or whether they make you happy, but like, are you making food? Are you
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I just do a bit of everything. Like I just find lots of things to do, and I go out for. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's so funny because you know that this is, you're really vague.
I'm
right?
vague.
You're very vague. You're like, I don't know. I like to go around this corner and the house and do something. And I like to sparkle. No, you know what? I'll tell you some things about her that I know.
That's a better way to go. Now my face is getting red. I feel silly.
He's kind of the spokesperson for everyone here.
Okay, Kelly, you know me better than this, eh?
But if I write about you doing things and stuff, you might be like, those aren't the things and the stuff that I do.
Well, I don't know what else really to tell you.
What, did you spend the morning cleaning the toilet? Is that what you want in your poem?
No, I don't want that in my poem.
That's what I'm saying.
Laughter. I'll tell you what, laughter is.
Macrame, or is she like?
No, it's just I just am enjoying. I'm just enjoying every day, and I do different things whenever I feel like it, and I've just got a lot of spunk, and I just go around and I laugh a lot because I'm very humorous, and just whenever I just make the best out of a really bad situation that we're all living in, and that changes when this comes back and we can get back to normal. Meanwhile, I just manage to keep myself happy and have a good thing. But other times I have a lot of things I like to do. I like to travel. I like to go places, and we've got many friends that we when this is over, we can go back to having our great friends, and it's just a really good life.
Oh, okay, there's a lot of interesting things that just happened. So I think I've got enough to go on to write something, and hopefully Kelly and Bob as well. But
Okay, so let me just grab that one of your songs.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you who recorded this for you, because I really liked some of this. Like, it was nice recording. You had a couple cameramen, and your audio was wonderful. Like,
so our friend Nick Karen.
Oh, okay. CARON.
So we met him through the Total Gadjos, through our drummer Lonnie James.
Okay.
That Southpaw's met before. And we recorded some songs with Total Gadgets, which is a 7-piece Eastern European folk, punk, and gypsy band. I have all of the right descriptors there. And that I play in with my partner, Craig. And anyways, so we went over to Nick's, and he actually sets up several cameras, and then he has one camera that he moves around, and then he slices it all up. But he's just a wizard. I'd recommend anybody to go to him for recording or live video. A lot of the online opportunities have the stipulation that it has to be live video.
But so his audio was good. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That he recorded us all properly at the same time, did it all in his studio.
What song do you want to start with, do you think?
Oh, maybe the COVID song.
Which one?
Ain't going back to work. It's kind of tongue in cheek. When we wrote that song, if I may put a little preamble.
Yeah.
We got lots of time here. No worries.
I like to tell the story because it's funny and yet poignant. In the song I say I ain't going back to work at the cubicle no more. So after I happened to write the song, not even share it or anything, I ended up losing my office job because of COVID and layoffs and budget cuts and things. And then there's another line that's ain't gonna work at the factory no more. And a couple weeks after I got let go, Craig got let go from his factory job. And the moral of the song is I'm getting by just fine working from home online. So Craig has been teaching guitar online, and I've been teaching poetry online. And so it ended up that the song came true, which was pretty weird because I didn't really have any idea about that when I wrote it. But maybe it was in the subconsciousness.
You should consider also maybe doing a little series on bass, because I think a lot of people find that daunting, and it's tough, but it's not unsurmountable kind of, like the stand-up bass, the beautiful stand-up bass that you, plus it's so pretty, and you got all the dresses to match and the shoes, and I'm sure you got the handbag to match too, and the hat.
I'm not quite that put together, but maybe one day.
Anyway,
okay, so the song that we're gonna play here,
I'm sure it would be successful. That's what I'm saying.
You're very, very kind, Bob. I miss playing with you, buddy.
Okay, same here. Totally.
So we better get writing while this song is going on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The song is 3 or 4 minutes. The poem takes about 10 or 15.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Okay, so we'll play a few of your songs, I guess, then.
That would be, unless you want to pause us in our writing, have us talk some more, and then back to the writing.
Yeah, sure, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Done. Done.
And thank you so much for your participation, Jill.
Oh, you're welcome.
Before it happened, somebody just say things were all moving too fast every day. You wouldn't put your baby on a crazy carousel, but you'd spin yourself so fast your gray matter melts. Now I sit on the couch in the afternoon sun, come. Ain't gonna work in the factory no more. And I ain't gonna work in the store. And getting by just fine, working from home on mine. And I ain't gonna run in the race with the rats no more. And I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more.
That's fun, hey? That was good. I like that.
That was really fun.
I remember that room. Yeah.
That room is over at Nick's place now, where he lives in Northmount. I don't think that's too far from you.
Like just right close to the. Yeah, he's roommates with Emery, so that's where. So we did the thing for Sarah Bain, and that's how they rotated. They had like one band setting up in the lower level with Nick, and then while the other band was upstairs with Emery, and then once
for house shows.
Yeah. That's it. Was like a whole 12 band during the day kind of thing. Just rotate in and out. There was like separate entrances, and one band set up downstairs while the other one's streaming upstairs. And then as soon as they were done, then the band downstairs starts kicking in. Upstairs ones does a changeover, and it was really well organized. Yeah, that's how I met Nick.
That reminds me of the annual Beetroot party that they used to have, and they'd have somebody upstairs, somebody downstairs, boom, boom, boom. So much fun. And that's like live music on overdrive, and I'd just be happy to have any little bit of it. But memories like that make it clear how much luxury we had,
So you were at, did you talk to the people at Cat and Fiddle or about live music again? Because I came across something that said maybe 6 to 9 weeks from now it'd be reopening. Maybe.
I hadn't seen that yet. I know the Cat and Fiddle had some live music, and I was just starting to wonder who to talk to when it all went closed up, because it's so nice and close to both of us, actually. But no murmurs yet. I know just before they went to lockdown, there was a mandate for all of the venues to have not only plexiglass now, but to vent to the outside with ventilation and HVAC. So Coy was busy building, and I think Mikey's as well, with Emery building a big bubble around the whole stage. And then they would do something with HVAC to make it go outside. But so much pressure put on the venues, and here we are open today. And unfortunately, for some reason, there's no live music allowed.
I know. You know what? I was reading today because I'm always just stalking the when they open stuff up to see when we can rehearse. Like, well, for me, that's 2 people in my home, and I'm alone. So don't I get 2 people, right? So not only that, but they have a group. You could do a choir in a church, but I can't rehearse with my 2 band members. Oh, who's that?
This is Jake that has he's an older dog with the teeth issues, and he's such a cute fuzzy boy, and he likes to give kisses. But his breath is horrifying because he's got rotten teeth.
I know you know what? I had a cat like that was suffering from teeth, and I couldn't afford too much. What do you do? It's expensive.
It is. But so. The funny thing is, he doesn't show signs of discomfort, but he does things like chews on the edge of his bed over and over again, neurotically, and you wonder why. So supposedly they don't really show too many signs of oral pain, but when they have that pain relieved, they often act like younger dogs, or so tells the vet. So I do hope to raise the money to fix his teeth, but it is horrifyingly expensive, and he's an older dog and couldn't be insured. I should have insured him a few years ago. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be 14 now.
Wow.
But, he's a rescue, so we're not really sure. But he's a one-year dash, and he's a big fuzzy wiener.
So tell me, how are you coming along with your poem?
So I found a direction for it. It's not finished yet, but I realized that within what I wasn't hearing from Jill was some other things that I was hearing.
Right. Yeah, so more of intuitive writing as well, right?
Ready?
I just wanted to ask what song you want next.
Oh, let me try to. Okay, Craig really likes playing "Dry Well," and this is a funny song because I had this idea when we were on our way to South Country Fair. And somebody had a really old car, like a Model T or something like that, was coming towards us down the dirt road. And I thought to myself, and probably out loud, I'm like, this looks just like it probably would have in the 30s. You know, you're kind of time traveling by what you're seeing. So I put that idea into a song and kind of wrote a song of the period. I was also influenced by the Ken Burns series, not the jazz series or the blues series, but he actually has one about the Dust Bowl.
Oh, okay.
The Dust Bowl kind of thing. And some like amazing visuals of these dust cloud storms that would come, and they could give you the dust pneumonia, you know, and it was like this cloud of death coming, very terrifying. And just because they farmed to the gills and they didn't leave enough vegetation to hold that dirt in. So up into the air it went, and the 30s were definitely dirty. So I kind of imagined a scenario in the song, and hopefully I'll get more progress on Jill's poem next.
Okay, so I'm going to hit play here, and then we'll listen to that and see. Bob, you have to write a poem too. So
I'm done. I speed dated the whole thing. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Just put this on full screen.
Waiting for part 1 through.
Driving down the dusty road in a 30s Model T. The year we're in is subject to conditions such as these. If you were a farmer and I a farmer's wife, could you try to draw water from a dry, dry well? Try to draw water from a dry well. Trying to draw water from a dry well. Trying to draw water from a dry, dry well. Do I leave you thirsty, baby? Oh, you can't drink from my pail. Trying to draw water from a dry, dry well. Tin roof would be leaking if the sky could shed a tear. A sad, sad situation cannot move a sky so clear. If you were a farmhand and a daughter fair, could you try to draw water from a dry, dry well? Trying to draw water from a dry well. Trying to draw water from a dry well. Trying to draw water from a dry, dry well. Do I leave you thirsty, baby? Oh, you can't drink from my pail. Trying to draw water from a dry, dry well. Try to draw. The farm until they take away the plow. If you were a traveling man and I so in despair, could I try to draw water from your dry, dry well? Well, trying to draw water from a dry well. Trying to draw water from a dry well. Trying to draw water from a dry, dry well. Do I leave you thirsty, baby? Oh, you can't drink from my pail. Trying to draw water from a dry, dry well. Trying to
That's awesome. What do you guys think? Good times?
Yes.
Where are we?
Nicely done.
Oh my goodness, this is so crazy because I hit that button. You can hear us talking, but you can't hear anything else. That's hilarious. So this is like.
So
what happens?
That's not. What's the name of that lineup? Like you and Craig, or are you just the two of you just part of Total Gadgets?
I don't know. We're our own thing too, I figure. So we call ourselves Bluebird Telegraph. Mostly we were doing nostalgic covers, and then I started to bring in originals that I'd written that were sort of classic sounding, or I hope they were.
Yeah.
To make it all sound right together. But
that's totally in vogue right now. Like with the postmodern jukebox thing, you saw how that blew up over the internet. It's like millions of views. People like looking at stuff that's like it brings back that whole era of the 30s, right? And you've got the instrumentation. The two of you is like awesome. Don't worry, this will work, like for sure. Like just keep putting it out, right?
Thank you, Bob. Well, we ended up getting together with a drummer friend that I'd played with in a couple of other outfits, with my friend Nico Brennan's outfit, and with a fellow named Trevor out of Ontario that was coming through town and needed backup. And then Jay Bradley has been joining us now, but don't go steal this drummer.
Is he a drummer stealer?
I'm teasing you because Keith came.
What's your drummer's name?
No,
just kidding.
I met Bob, and then they were a match made together. But
who was that?
I met Keith.
Keith.
Oh, we still Keith.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
sorry, I have no idea. I have no idea, Laurie. Sorry.
So
I wouldn't
Kelly, I'm just like defensive now. I'm like, don't take Jay Bradley. I'm already borrowing him from Nico.
So you're taking him from somewhere.
And also Busker Do, a fabulous outfit with Wayne Imanen and Doug. I'm having a brain fart on Doug's last name. He's the only Doug, and that's the only name.
Carter Airplanes? No, I'm just kidding.
But Busker Do are such a great outfit, and they're not playing right now. So I'm like, hey, Jay. Anyways, we recorded this song with Nick Karen with an eye to the reopening. It might have been for Rise Up Calgary. We might not have matriculated to the finals. We might still have this song that we just recorded in good quality and not really know what the hell to do with now. But sometimes we'll have drums. We're really excited to play with drums now that we can't. So
yeah. So how many other bands are you with? Like in theory?
When circumstances allow, I'd like to play again with the Gadjos with my friend Joanna Drummond, who is a folk singer-songwriter, guitarist, and that's about it. Because I figured a while ago I was playing bass for everybody, and
I ran into you. I ran into you at Mikey's when and suddenly you were like playing with Shauna Ray again. Last summer.
Yeah, that was the last rock and roll show that I played before COVID kind of made things suck.
But you had you guys had parted ways, and then suddenly I see Shauna, and then I see you over in the corner, and it's like, oh, great! Like
well, what's funny is they brought in Todd Maduke on the bass, and he's great on the bass. But Todd and Herb from Shona Ray and the Voodoo Band, or Shona Ray and the Bonafides, as they're now called, Herb and sorry. I was disoriented by the thing that happened. That's so funny. Okay, so Chris was watching this happen to me earlier tonight when I was trying to tell him stories. He's a much better storyteller than I, and I hope he's here tonight. Hi, Chris. But anyways, yes, Herb and Todd had played together for many years with the Bigfoot Rocket Ship Surf Band.
Okay.
and as double guitarists. So they had only played really that surf rock music. So they decided to bring me back on bass for the bona fides, and then they could have two guitarists going back and forth. And it's kind of fun because we always considered the band to be guitar driven, and yet Herb was yet holding the whole responsibility for driving of guitars, you know.
Right.
You can only drive one guitar at a time or you might crash into something.
Into a bass player?
Perhaps.
And then when the bass player stops,
then
the whole song goes sideways, and then everybody's lost.
Crash into me.
Yeah, the total definition of a train wreck. Okay, so how's your book doing? Is it selling at all, or are you? Did you do a launch? Did you do some kind of a how'd that work out?
Well, so this actually came out in the very end of the year in 2018, and I had 4 launches. So we had this was my thing that I tried to do to make, you know, hay as the sun shined. So I went to each of the independent bookstores and had an event at each one, always a different one. My favorite one was at Shelf Life Books, where I collaborated with some other published poets. I had Stephen Ross Smith, Richard Harrison, who's Stephen Ross Smith is now the Poet Laureate of Banff currently. Richard Harrison runs his own writing group. He's won the Governor General's Award for his book on not losing my father's ashes in the flood. It's a wonderful book. Also teaches at Mount Royal University. And then Liz Howard, who's an absolutely fantastic writer out of Toronto, has just announced that her new book is on the way, and we're very happy to hear that. And her book was called Infinite Citizen of the... Oh, shoot, I just lost it. I'm sorry. Darn it. I'm so annoyed with myself. Infinite Citizen of the Shaking Tent.
Okay.
And I'm really sorry I had to quickly check myself on that one.
So
she won the biggest prize, $50,000 prize, Griffin Prize, because her book was so wonderful. And these people read with me at Shelf Life, so I was very humbled and happy that they would deign to read with me.
And you've been active in that community ever since?
I have been active since I was about 17 years old. In Ottawa, I was following around the poets once I found out they were there, and taking bus rides downtown to go to readings and stumbling upon amazing and interesting and wild and crazy people. And then got into music later on. And like every poet wishes into music, I think.
Like, you know, some of the people, like, okay, we sadly lost, you know, Gordon Downey, but like what made him so great was he was such a wordsmith, right?
Yeah, like he always sort of had the crossover of poetry and music, and so too did Leonard Cohen, and I think Natalie Merchant as well does that. I was revisiting the music of Natalie Merchant, and she blows me right away. The Cowboy Junkies.
This was one of my favorite songs to do with Kelly. Was Carnival.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It was just such a, and her guitar player, which I found out was.
That's what I look like when I played it.
Carnival. That's how you have to be. That's Carnival.
Plus, it's all about. Plus, it's so all about New Orleans, which is like, you know, a place that I totally appreciated while I was there, and I so long to go back because the vibe is just incredible. But anyway, yeah, Natalie Merchant. Anyway, wordsmithing. You can like I can't see. You've got the whole world. You've got the wordsmith. You've got the poetry, the music, the beautiful bass, the ability. Craig with you, like working, like obviously you guys work well together. Like it's all gonna, you know. This is my tarot reading. There you go.
I'm just
got a
saying,
bright future.
I'm just saying that my mom left because I think it's past her bedtime now.
Oh dear. Oh.
So did we figure out a poem yet? Did you write your poem?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Wanda.
It didn't quite get as magical as it will with a little more editing, but I'm pretty close to having something. Do you want to hear it?
Sure. Yeah.
It needs a title.
Her middle name is Melody.
Poem for Jill, Melody.
Yes.
I love it. But it doesn't really speak to the contents of the poem so far. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you're making macrame, experimenting with new flavors on your soda stream, baking sourdough or leaving that to newbies while you dig your hands in tough, fresh, dark pumpernickel dough, stitching a needle point of a schnauzer in a bow tie, experimenting with cricut, or identifying the birds fine dining at your impressive collection of feeders. There are many fine things to fill your day, a wonderful husband, so many reasons to be happy, not to lose hope. Share some with us. that line at the end, I don't know if I need to give her that moral of the story.
I like, and she can watch this after because it's on. Anyways, you know what? I really, if she wants to come back in and comment, she can, but that's up to her. So okay, so I really liked about the bird feeders because I happen to know in her yard she has bird feeders. She loves to feed birds, and she always loved birds so much. She used to have some doves, and she just loves birds. When she was living in Mexico, she rescued a bird because she wanted a parrot, but they're little tiny parrots there, like not the big crazy ones we got here. And I guess they're like raised in these little boxes. It was so sad, and she just was heartbroken with these birds that she saved them as many as she could.
So did you guys all write poems or what?
We did. Okay, so Bob, read your poem.
Okay.
We're ready.
That bird stuff, I gotta write it down for later.
Jill is so happy she can't put a finger on it or spell it or find the words to describe the bliss, the heaven, and what we miss. Jill has so much fun and a great companion in a husband. Now I can't read that she can't remember what she did that day. There you go.
Yay. So spoken word clapping is snapping.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read you mine. Here's my poem. Blue, blue, blue. La, la, la. Okay, here we go. Jill writes poems about Jack and a hill. Happy all day. Some person, anyways. Or a home person, anyways, sorry. Happy, great life, happy wife. Sings songs to the birds, and they don't need words. Laughter, being with friends, doing this and that. Jill.
Oh.
I don't know.
And also some of this and some of that. And
yeah, well, because I was trying to put this and that and kind of Dr. Seussy in a way. Because that's how she was talking, kind of Dr. Seussy,
I don't say.
Wanda's got a friend that's mad at her.
Is that a little Chihuahua dog?
Yeah, and it knows that you have a dog, probably.
Can smell it through the internet.
Yeah, I think one of them peed on your foot, Wanda.
No, they're hiding in the dark, barking.
They know when we're online. Like when I do Zoom workouts, everyone that's working out on the other side, if they have a cat, it will stick its ass in front of the camera. Every time you'll see the cat start to circle in front of the camera. The next thing you know, it just stops and you can just see its bum hole and it just stands there. And it's more than one person and cat this has happened to. So there's something. Just saying, because it's so funny.
It's a thing. Well, I'm sorry. I'm Laurie. I'm sorry. I totally missed you today. It was like, oh, so next time you'll have to. These guys are gonna have to tell me how to write this poem, and I'll write you one.
Well, that's Wanda. We'll have our fun with you at some point. I don't know, maybe not right now, but soon.
We'll do it in person.
But I'd love to write you a poem as well, just for fun. And yes, fun.
I think that'd be fun to have someone write a poem. That's like someone doing a painting for you.
Yeah,
really, because it's just an internal painting, you know.
Well, and one of the things that the League people said when I took that little class about spontaneous poetry is they said, try to use as much as you can of what people tell you so you're projecting less. So there will be less things, hopefully, in the poem that they won't connect with. But the funny thing with doing Jill's poem when she wouldn't be specific is it gave me room to like imply a number of random specifics, which would be perhaps untrue for Jill. But I hope that she'll still get a kick out of her poem and that she inspired it.
I liked it, and I know her quite well, so I think she'll really enjoy it. So, sure. Yay. So we should play another song of yours before we kick you out of here.
Well, thank you. I thought I might take this opportunity to change into a top that came today.
Are you making fun of me?
No, but it was so funny because I was watching your one from last week today and you were doing your costume changes and I happened to get a little package from Ricky's whereas everything was like so much on sale that I just had to fill up a bag with $50 worth of stuff so you get free shipping.
Yeah. Started going. That's so funny. Okay, I'm going to hit play on this. It has like a 2-second delay or something, so it'll cut in whenever it feels like it. So let's hope for the best. Cross your fingers.
All right.
Drum roll.
What do I do when the devil is a saint? Do what you shouldn't do. You stay out late. After hours bark, the lights are soft, the drinks refill.
happen because you have absolutely no control over anything. So here I see myself now. Hopefully you guys can see me. Oh my goodness. I don't understand. Just in the middle. So I guess TELUS didn't fix the problem. And it's funny because you know every week I've been dealing with TELUS for 6 months to fix my internet problem. It just disappears, just vanishes for like these little windows. So yeah, we're back. So I was just saying, whether anyone heard me or not, I was saying how much I love watching another person play bass because you know it's always nice.
So talented. I love it.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear your choices.
Well, I really like having less of this. You know, I'm used to being in the 7-piece band, right? And with the 2-piece band, you can hear more of what goes on, and you can take a solo, and you can kind of not be so overbearing and gregarious about it because that's all there is guitar and bass. And if you don't like try to rip out a solo to make it more fun, then maybe it'll be boring. So then I get a good excuse to try to rip it out.
Yeah, and you got to really have a good attack to play a solo. It's not just about playing riffs. You have to be leading people behind you. And sometimes we're used to being a little further back in that pocket. So it's a bit more of a leap, I find, for me.
Have you ever seen Brandy Disterheft?
No. Let me write that down, though.
She came to town and she played with the Red Line Trio, and I couldn't get any tickets, and I thought I was going to sort of get to hear from the Wings, and they moved the venue from C-Space, where I was teaching that night, over to Studio Bell because C-Space sprung a leak that night, and there was a flood. So I was so disappointed that I couldn't listen in on this woman, but she basically kills it on bass and sings and leads jazz outfits. And Brandy Disterheft, it's a kind of a weird one to spell. Disterheft, I think it's kind of like that. Put it in the chat. But so inspiring when you see another woman who is just killing it. And that's how I feel when I see you play, actually.
What? I'm looking for it. Oh, here it is. Brandy Disterheft.
Yeah, I'm always inspired to hear you sing and play, and I haven't had the opportunity for quite a while, and I would love to go down to the border crossings and
that would be great
on Saturdays and
like bring your I'm gonna just put bring your upright bass and I'll play and let me play with it.
Sure. Well, and I really love playing electric bass too. Like I'm a little more versatile.
Yeah, I guess that would be less work for you, right?
Well, it's not only that, but it's just the versatility of your hands over the strings, right? When you have a really nice, nicely set up electric bass, but I have a not so nicely set up maybe upright bass because service to these things are very expensive. Is it Bob that's going to pop up into existence now?
I'm not sure. Hang on a sec here. I was just going to play some of the Brandy stuff. I just pulled her up anyway, so now I got her saved. Here we go. Let's pull Bob up and see what he's up to.
What am I just got to say I was so blessed to be able to have you on a Saturday morning matinee, a Saturday afternoon matinee anyway. Because the sound of a stand-up bass really pulls things in a different direction, right? And that is not, you can't replace that with something else.
Well, you do a lot of great rockabilly songs that are so much fun to play on the upright bass. But I'm quite happy if I can if I can come and let Kelly have a whirl on that. Like, let's all. I just want to play music together again.
Yeah. Don't we all?
I'm sorry. I think my song that you tried to play froze. So I wasn't sure if that was terrible and horrible, and I went and got my guitar in case you wanted me to finish the song.
You know what?
Pick it up from where it stopped.
You know what? It's there's something going on with my signal. Like, I remember you were saying something about at your house too. It's been kind of weird. And I think, I don't know, it's like I keep getting, it's like there's an overload of people online. And it's like there's only so much space. And so you're like fighting for something. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but the last few weeks, my computer and everything's been acting up. I thought it was my computer, so I did all those things, tested all that, and then I thought it was TELUS, so I had Plex in here, but it just keeps happening. So it's my fault it froze. So I apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry about your troubles. They're so frustrating. And it's like,
you know,
sometimes in my house there's 3 of us streaming at the same time, and or one person gaming online while 2 of us try to Zoom, and it's like it doesn't go as well. Something is sucking. But imagine this is a sci-fi near future kind of novel idea. Here we go. It's like there's so many people online that everything sucks. There's not enough to go around. Now only the rich people can afford to be online. The rest of us are relegated to in-person interactions, and yet these prove to be the most essential interactions.
Yeah.
And then we take over the world once again. To hell with the 1%.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get together in person instead.
Yeah. And we'll benefit by being internet poor.
Not FaceTime, face to face.
Yeah, that's for sure. I want to thank you, Laurie, for coming. I know that Wanda's got another guest sitting in the wings, so we're going to get her on.
Speaking of more stand-up bass,
come back again. Like, come see us again.
So much fun. Thank you for having
Laurie.
me in your coterie.
Sunny days, everything's okay. Thank you so much, Laurie.
So good to see you.
Yeah. So, Wanda, what have you been up to? Jeez, Louise, I missed you.
It's been a hell of a day. I woke up this morning. I had no water. It was frozen. So I had to be like backwoods mama. And I have like this little hole in the floor, and I put a fan over top of it to suck the heat in, and it took 30 minutes, but it worked.
See, you're a woman of many means.
The backwoods woman.
That's right. So you got some friends here tonight. I know you got that.
I know. Yes.
About your guest, and then maybe we'll say hello. You know.
All right. Okay. So let's give a warm welcome to Mae De Light and Pedro. Hello.
God.
How are you guys?
Very good.
We are great.
Good. All right. So I think that you guys should tell everybody a little bit about yourselves. Yes.
You start. Well, my name is Mae De Light. I am a pinup model and musician. I am the co-founder of the Hellbound Honeys, which is a rockabilly pinup girl troupe for hire for event staffs. So once the world opens up and you can have an event, if you need anybody, we got Hellbound Honeys to help you out. But I am the washboard player and vocalist for future Ghost Towns and a new band, Velvet Betties, that we are coming up with. I do vocals and rhythm guitar for them as well.
All right.
I'm Pedro. I play bass for Peter and the Wolves and I play guitar for Velvet Betties as well. And bass in future Ghost Towns. And yeah.
You guys are pretty busy out there in this musical. Well, not right now.
Now, but before COVID, we were 5 nights a week, like between 7 different bands, jamming around, doing
Wow.
every jam, shows, weekends. We were quite busy.
Holy, yeah. So, Mae, you play something else besides just the washboard, right?
Well, at the beginning of COVID, when I got laid off of work, I was bored after about a month and I bought a ukulele. And so for the last 10 months, I've learned that. And recently, in the last month and a bit, I picked up rhythm guitar. So I started playing a few tunes.
I kind of forced you to, so.
He kind of forced me to. I didn't want to. I really wanted to stick with washboard. And I have so much fun playing that with Future Ghost Towns and jamming with other people around town when we go to their homes. I really loved it. But then like picking up a stringed instrument, kind of, 4 strings, 5 strings. Now I kind of want to do it all now.
Next is drums.
And
So
now
how's she doing on the ukulele there, Pedro?
Yeah. I got my beautiful Telecaster that I got from a friend.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, thanks, Dan Barton. Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. You. What have you? Are you jamming, working on music while everything?
Nothing going on for me right now because of COVID and, you're only allowed 2 cohorts and all that good stuff that's going on, right?
Writing any tunes yourself?
Yeah, well, hopefully everything opens up in the next 5 weeks, right? And we get you guys at the border crossing. You got to come back there for sure. Oh, there we go. There's a picture. So now, is this the Hellbound Honeys, Mae, or?
Yeah, that is my Hellbound Honeys. That's Sweet Jess on the end, and myself, and Ashley Rose, and Krista Mischief.
Nice, very nice. So do you have calendars? Did you guys ever do anything that way?
We did for a while. We did the first run in, I think it was 2017. We had a calendar, Grease and Gals calendar that we put out of Pomper's Garage in Chestermere. And Carrie Goodwin was the photographer for that. But ever since then, we got a bunch of new girls. We're about 10 girls now. And
wow.
We haven't really done much photo shoot wise, but we've been doing events. We've been working a lot with Bikers Against Child Abuse, Bikers Are Buddies, the Canadian Oilfield Motorcycle Association. We've been doing events with them. And we had a few events that were booked, and then COVID shut us down, but it all was going out by, out by Wayne out of the last.
Oh, really?
We would have a big, huge event. So we're hoping that comes again when we're allowed to. But we hook up a lot with Harley Davidson through the north, on the north end by Barlow there. They've asked us to do an event that's coming up as soon as we're allowed to get groups together and have people together.
Right.
We'll have a date set for that we've.
Oh, well, I'm going to have a huge backyard party and you guys have to come.
Right? I'll be there for sure.
Right. So how many bands are you in, Pedro? 3, 4, 10?
Depending on the day, really.
Oh, yeah?
I play with Felix in the Manic Men with Southpaw Bawb. And then sometimes I also play with the Sadler Brown Band.
Right. Oh, right on. And did you teach Mae how to play her ukulele, or?
No, she taught herself on that, actually. I kind of taught her some stuff on guitar, and she just runs with it.
Oh, yeah?
I took a little bit, and while he was gone off working and I came home and nobody was home, there was a few hours where I would just sit there, and I actually got to take it to work with me. So when my office is quiet, I would sit at my desk and I would play and learn songs. And
oh, excellent. And so Pedro, you play with Peter and the Wolves too, right? You're saying?
Yes, I play the upright bass with Peter and the Wolves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so hopefully we'll be doing England this year, because last year we weren't able to because of COVID. Possibly Red Hot and Blue Festival in Rockville. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going to end up happening this year.
But Ramblin' Rebel just came out.
Yeah, Ramblin' Rebel, honey, just got released.
Oh, yeah.
on Bandcamp. I'm excited for that one. They put a lot of heart and soul into that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob.
Hi. Are you doing anything with Aaron? How's it going?
How you been?
Good to see you.
Excellent. Are you guys doing anything with Aaron at all? Are you part of any of that Future Ghost Towns or any of that too? Or
yeah, we're doing Future Ghost Towns, and we're also with Velvet Betties with Aaron. He's
Velvet Betties. I got a beautiful sticker from the Velvet Betties, and it went right on the guitar.
Some good music that's coming out soon. We just gotta wait for everybody to open up and let us play, and then we can maybe show it one day. But
either way, we got lots of time to practice.
we got lots of time to practice right now.
Yeah, well, at least you can practice together, which is, you know, not everybody's luxury these days.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not with these big bands and stuff. So
That's why we instead of like me playing washboard with the Future Ghost Towns and him bass with Peter and the Wolves, now we picked up guitar and ukulele to make our own music since we don't have our regular bands to play with.
That's awesome, though.
There you go. That's like turning lemons into lemonade.
Right?
Gotta do what you gotta do. We don't watch much TV, so
No.
Yeah, well, that's so not productive either. So
No.
Watching TV, yeah.
yeah, it's like that's for those with the Cheeto dust on their belly.
you can either watch someone else live their lives or live your own life and let someone else.
Exactly. All right, so hit us up with the song.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do a cover by Hillbilly Moon Explosion.
Excellent band.
We'll let 2 hours on the solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like to practice some and take me to the stars. Go here and we'll try to we try to love, we made a fuck, so
Oh, that's my love, my thirst after last one.
we stood on the cliffs on the starless night. I held your hand in mine. So stand by me with all your heart. I need you by my side. The river's cold and black, the bottom of the lonely pit.
Another one going underground.
Why can't we cut the ropes and let that go?
When you go getting weak on me, not when I need you so.
We stood on the cliffs on a starless night. I held your hand in mine. So stand by me with all your heart. I need you by my side.
Don't lose your step, now you're almost there. Go wash your face and comb your hair. So trust me now, don't leave me. Furthermore, your love is a pledge to me.
We stood on the cliffs on a starless night. I held your hand in mine. So stand by me with all your heart. I need you by my side. We'll stay at home and call this day a room. Listen to a record and watch the camera. I'm feeling kind of drowsy with blood on the floor. And when I'm gone, just still have my
Yay! You're doing good there, Mae. Oh my gosh. 10 months.
Enjoying that.
Right?
We enjoying that magic.
Yeah. That is awesome. Did you have a problem learning to sing and play at the same time, or did it just come naturally? Probably naturally for you, right?
Honestly, I think it made it easier for me. And like before, like just singing with other bands and learning, like I've only been doing music for like a very short time. I haven't been blessed to do it for like my whole life.
Right? We wish we started as teenagers.
And with what I've been doing and learning stringed instruments, I think it's almost made it easier for me. And it's totally, I feel like it really helped my vocals and made me understand music a lot more than
right
just coming along on my washboard and like regular percussions with my tambourines and my bangers, mixers. Like I never really wanted to learn stringed instruments, but it made learning all of our music with all of our bands so much more fun understanding it.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. I think it almost makes it easier for me to sing, learn a song if I'm playing guitar or ukulele.
Right.
You know, I find that my instrument kind of feels like a shield almost. And when I'm not doing something with my hands and I'm just standing there singing, I feel like they're really seeing inside of me more because I don't have any distractions. Look what I can do over here. Don't look at me sing.
I'm like that with my washboard. Like I feel like once I put my washboard on, I'm playing no matter which one it is or whatever band or house jam or stage that we're on. I put my washboard on and I feel that way and I'm completely different. But with a guitar, ukulele, because we have so many friends and so many people that are close to us that are ridiculously good guitarists, like Bob, you know, and bass players, that when I put it on, I feel like that center part of me, that's where like so many people are watching, but then it makes me play even harder. And I feel like my vocals sound so different, but it's also making it sound what it should be. So I'm learning so much at the same time and trying to put it all together. And
I'd love for you guys to come when we're back and running, and me and Wanda and Bob here are all playing together. I'd love for you guys to come down and sing and play with us so that we can, you know, visit and create together. Because I don't know, like, okay, you guys are okay, right? But there's something empowering about playing music with a bunch of women. I don't know. I like it.
You're saying that we're okay?
I think the guys are okay.
I think she's bored with us, eh? Listen to her.
Wanda, you're not a guy.
Oh, you mean Bob?
I mean men are okay to play with, but I'm saying there's something special about playing music with other women.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Four bands full of boys, and everywhere I go, and every jam and every done, it's boys, and I'm so glad that like Peter, when like he has the girls, the Wolfettes with him, that like I finally got some girls to hang out.
That's we're out of here.
So
what about you, Pedro?
Then hang out and jam with other women, I'm down.
What about you, Pedro? How long have you been playing?
Ooh.
5 years, 4 years,
Yeah, about 5.
About 5 years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what did you start with?
Upright bass with Peter and the Wolves. I had about
really?
2 years to learn his songs, then we went on a BC tour.
Oh,
so
wow.
What brought you to bass? Like, what was did someone just say, here, we need a bass player?
I kind of just went to shows and seen all my buddies up on stage playing the upright bass. And like, I would love to do that. And then our buddy Highway, he had one just sitting there. And he's like, yeah, go ahead and take it for now. Just give me payments or whatever. And then it's yours. You can just.
Is that the blue one you got?
The blue one, yeah.
The blue one.
Yeah. And then practice that for a while. And then I think Theo, the original bass player for Peter and the Wolves, couldn't make a tour in BC. So he gave me his music about 10 days in advance, figured it out, and then we went on
nice.
That was it.
Don't you love that first gig where your hands cramp up and you get a bunch of blisters?
I had no fingertips at the end of that one.
Yeah.
Like this
Just
one.
meat, raw meat.
Yeah. It was only 3 days. Like the longest I think we've been on tour was a 10 days straight sort of tour.
Oh wow.
Oh, your first time? Oh,
No, I think that was a little bit more down the road, but the
oh
first
that's good. Yeah. My first bass gig was at the Cecil, and it was a 6-nighter. Oh my god.
So you went through a lot of tape, didn't you?
I had big blisters on the ends of my fingers. They were like bubbles, like balloons. And I was afraid to pop them because I knew then I'd have open flesh. So I took a sewing needle and I went in the side of my nail, underneath the nail, and drained it from underneath the nail. And then it turned into a hard rock.
Oh, Jesus.
That was so graphic.
I didn't know that was going to happen, but I was so afraid of the raw flesh. I couldn't touch that bass one more second, but I had to.
I gotta say, Pedro's definitely the most chill I've ever seen somebody show up with minimal preparation, i.e., phone the day before. Here's all the songs. Okay, whatever. And then
let's just try this one. Like, okay.
that was definitely a good insight. I was like, okay, but it worked out. It worked out. That's that's where the difference is between people that play and learned and everything else, and people that just have like a natural talent of some kind, where it's like, I'm prepared, they can make it work because they understand music. And you guys both have that, which is fantastic. Like because that cannot be taught. That's like something that's innate, right? You understand music, and so whatever limitations you have, it's like make it work, and that's what you guys do great. Like definitely. Like I witnessed it firsthand. I can vouch for that one all day long.
It's all those open jams, right?
Yeah. Hey, that is a great tool. You know, I've ran into a few people who are, you know, like really good musicians, and find that the jam scene is kind of downgrading, let's say, the level of musicianship that you should have to get on stage, which is an argument that is fair in a sense. But at the same time, it's like, what about all us normies, right? That just kind of like don't always get to play or don't have the wherewithal to put a band together. What do we do? Well, having a jam scene is a perfect place for exactly that, for people to get together and be able to have fun that way. And we all meet and figure out who can play with who, right? And that's how I ended up in the circle that you guys hang out through, which is.
But also, I think that like with the jam scene in Calgary, like there are so many talented people that go to these, and that are like really like they have their own bands or they do their own side thing or they play with the other mixing around, and they're so good that when a regular jammer, quite as myself, who hasn't been a musician for very long, comes in, it's kind of intimidating to come out and be around such good people when everybody's like, oh, it's just a jam at your house party, no big deal.
But if you can get past that, all the really great musicians, like, this is a musician up and coming. Like, you know, they give props to that. The fact that you got
it is, and that's a big step that like a lot of younger people. And there's even a couple times at Mikey's when we were sitting there and we were witness to it, where this young fella came in and he was really eager to play. And a couple other guys got up and the announcer announced that they were part of other bands, that they were well known. And they get up and play, and the guy kind of got spooked and he left, and he didn't take his chance to go and play. So the jam scene is amazing, and the music and the talent that is there is awesome, but I can see where it's
long story short, if you're an up and coming musician, know that us regular musicians want you to come up and do it.
Yes.
You know, we want to see the new stuff.
Or someone will like Hamill hound you down and get you to do it anyway.
I'll force you to do
it.
Well, you know, like you got to see the lucky thing about Calgary. The lucky for us is that the jam scene is prolific. Put aside the whole COVID situation, is huge, right? I've lived in some huge cities like Houston, for example, right? And there was like 2 or 3 jams that's it, right? And so you show up there as a nobody, and it's like you don't get a chance to play because they've already got their huge cohorts, and you know the stage time is so short and everything else. I've been into so many situations like that until I got to Calgary, where suddenly it was like, look, you can go out every night and jam, and there's always people happy to have you, and that's how you just break. That's the best way to break the fear, right? And as jam hosts, we have to be conscious of that there's always somebody out there in the crowd that it's their first time and they can't be intimidated. And of course, put on a good show and try and do, you know, whatever we're having fun at our level, whatever we're doing. But it's like you got to make sure that you can try and seek out those people and say, no, come on up, because what they don't realize is that the band is going to just carry them, right? Yeah. And that's what you don't realize is when you're a beginner, it's like the band will carry you. So like even if you fall off the rails, just keep singing, forget playing guitar or whatever you're doing. If you fell off the rails, and the whole thing's gonna sound great if you can keep an open mind that it didn't matter if you didn't do all the things that you thought you were supposed to do. The end result is the sum of all the parts. And that's
what you can do it again another time at another venue. Like there's so many great spots out there that we're just
exactly. And nobody will shut you down for trying, that's for sure. Because like how many, like y'all, myself included, got invited and experienced that, right?
Yeah.
So I always remember that, the fact that I got invited, not knowing anybody and being a way lesser player than I probably am today. And they still said, yeah, come on up and have fun with us, right? And that's the whole thing. Come and have fun with us, right?
Play us another song. Speaking of music, you know, Bob was saying something about music coming back 6 to 8 weeks or 6 to 9 weeks. I can't wait. I want to hear it now.
We probably have 6 or 9 more weeks, so.
It's nice though, because we actually get quite a few viewers on this show, and we're like by the end of the show there's 1,000 views easy. So
no pressure. Okay, you could have said that after the song. All right.
Show us what you got. Shake your stuff. You know, you're too pretty to be doing that. You're gonna cause trouble.
You're never too pretty to do that. Someone tells you to shake your
Okay, I'll behave. Sorry.
This is Lonesome Road by Go Cat Go.
Nice.
I went down that lonesome road. I really didn't know what I was looking for. That's where I found where I was, and everything I was looking for was on you. So now I'm looking so I won't be on this lonesome road alone. When I get back, I leave this road for them and say every night they tell you where I should.
Though I won't be on this long time when I get back, please drop all and stay at home right next to you, where I should.
Yay! Yay!
Oh,
Look at
where's
Bob
it?
showing off his guitar. He's showing off
Oh,
his
it's
toy.
a Velvet Betty sticker.
Thanks, Bob.
Sports psychobilly music.
Psychedelic.
I meant to make Bob the big one. Oh, now we're just looking at Bob's bum. That's kind of fun too. Hey, Bob.
Just
How's your win? Is fun.
How's your bum, Bob?
Firmly seated.
Really seated.
By the way, when you got your new Gretsch, I
How's
was
your bum?
jealous. So jealous. That is such a beautiful color. It's like I feel like I'm so last millennia, really, with orange. Just like, oh man, that is so last year, last week, last millennia.
I thought, and I just had to have it, you know. Just hang on the wall.
I can see that.
So I have a couple questions for you. Number one, do you know why people drive around alone in their vehicles with a mask on? Is there a reason?
Because they're afraid of the air.
I'm thinking maybe there's a reason or an occupation we don't know about, right? And then we're like mocking them and going, why are you driving around by yourself with a mask on? Or there could be a good reason.
I'm taking it as an extra accessory that you got to match with your outfit. I don't know if that's the inner pinup girl in me, but all of my masks match my outfits, and now it just kind of goes with my stuff.
Do you have a lot of masks?
People driving around with their
I honestly, like, I was at work today, and then I left, and I had my mask on at work, and I left, and I kept it on. It looked good, and it kept my face
I don't
warm.
see a reason for it if you're by yourself.
Okay, I'm just wondering, like, maybe someone's got an answer because, like, I don't want to judge people till I've walked in their shoes, you know, kind of thing. And secondly, my second question
Wait a
is,
second, Pedro's got something else to say about the mask. What was that, Pedro?
I said maybe they stole the car.
maybe they just robbed a bank.
There's a lot of.
Okay, question number 2 is with COVID, we've all been kind of locked up with ourselves, and we're pretty sick of ourselves and others. So ones you live with, sometimes you just notice they're chewing a little more. I don't know. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that's like, if you make it through COVID with your partner, first of all, you're doing pretty excellent. Second of all, but everyone, I think, in COVID that I've talked to has found a new talent or something. They've pulled new out of themselves, like a good thing that came from it. So what would you say that is that came, something good that came from COVID that has opened your eyes to something new? Maybe.
You gym like 4 hours a night now.
So one, I got out of debt. Somehow miraculously, I'm out of debt. And then I self-taught myself ukulele, and now guitar, and working on upright bass and the drums. So when I'm not at work, I mean, I work at a dealership in town, so I'm still working every day, 8 to 10 hours a day. But at home, I can come home and hang with him.
We just play music all day long.
We jam for 3 to 4 hours a night.
See, that's what happens when your spouse or your partner is a musician, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I just have to play with myself. Like, that video at the beginning of the show, that was me in the corner.
I still do that too, but that's like in a different time.
It's kind of fun though. I actually learned a lot trying to play with myself, like musically, because I just did one take. I just did one take and smacked it.
Our heads are in the toilet all the time. So.
Yes, I learned new things all the time. No, musically, I learned new things playing music with myself. You sick bastards.
We just hear it a different way.
Oh, and also, I wanted you to give me one of your sayings, like how cold is it? It's so cold that, or it's cold as a...
9-inch nipples.
What?
I always go, I'm like, it's so cold. It's just 9-inch nipples.
9-inch nipples.
9-inch nail thing and 9-inch nipples. Yeah.
That reminds me, I got to go hang my keys up.
Right? Go ahead.
How about you, Bob? What would you say is your cold? It's so cold. It's.
I still can't remember what the exact expression is, but it was something about like a brass monkey.
Oh, okay. Wanda.
How does that one go? It's so cold. How does that one go with the brass monkey one?
Okay, so you know it at least. Finally, someone.
It's so cold. I'm not licking a pole.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of all these.
Actually, it's hilarious because I just happened to see a video yesterday of some guy purposely going out, stick his tongue to a pole, and got stuck there. And this is like, and the store owner closes the store, sees the idiot stuck to the pole, like waving his hands and everything. As like goes back inside and gets like some warm water to. Oh my God, this is for real.
Mae, why were you going, like, did that happen to you?
Yeah.
Or Pedro?
So I grew up and I was born in Fort McMurray, and out at the horse lease, I was probably, I don't know, 3-4 years old, hanging out with my older sister, and all the adults were down around the fire, and we were about like a city block away. And on the chain link fence, there was snow, and I licked it off, and my tongue got stuck to it. And my sister finally came after I screamed, and she had to run and get my mom and dad to go and get hot chocolate or coffee or whatever they had. I poured on my tongue, and for like a week after, there is like a piece of my tongue stuck on the fence. Up
Oh! Did you go visit it? Did you go visit your tongue?
I did. We even drove by, and like I remember this, and I was so little. And
this is the third time I've heard this story, and it gets me every time.
You'd be like, you should have like a little, like, when they go in the museums and they have a little card underneath of what that is. You should have put your little card and put a little museum light and had your name. That this was your tongue piece.
Here lies my tongue, circuit.
Stuck on blah, blah, blah. October 12th, or I guess it would be December 14th at 2 p.m. She was just trying to taste the snow and forgot there was metal there. Oh, that's awesome.
It happens. It's a thing, and
I don't know why you did.
I think we should all go sledding across the street from my house. There's a nice little hill, so it's just like a small hill. So you go wee, and then you get up, and you don't have to climb as far and walk as long, but you get more rides. You
go wee, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like probably be a good 10-second ride, and then you'd go walk up the hill again. But it's a short hill. So then you get like twice as many rides in and less climbing, I guess.
Good point.
Because you got to, you want to keep, sometimes the hills are too big and it takes forever to get to the top. And then you ride it over in like 2 seconds. You're like, crap. Now I got to walk that big hill again.
halfway and just catch halfway down.
Why you do it in a truck? You just go to the bottom to the truck.
No. My father used to take us 4x4ing in the coolies, and I'm still traumatized. Like, because we were in the back of the truck, and there was like a half gas tank. So every time you went up, the half gas tank slid to the end of the truck, so we had to climb over it every time you went up the hill. And then when you went down the hill, we had to climb over it because it was coming back at us. It was horrible.
This must have been in what, the 80s? What was legal?
Yeah, before they invented straps to strap down your gas tank.
Belts you need to put on your body.
Who puts your kids in the back of the truck with a freaking half tank that slides from front to back?
Everybody in my neighborhood growing up.
That was job site transportation down in Texas for sure. You had a pickup truck full of 12 workers in the bed. Anyway,
Us children were my dad's slaves.
Yeah.
It was like, moving pipe and stuff, and it was horrifying. There was rattlesnakes everywhere, so you had to walk through. When the crops got high, you're just
Where'd you grow up?
Bow Island, Alberta.
Bow Island? Where's that?
Island?
That is on the highway in between. Well, the bigger cities would be Lethbridge and Medicine Hat on Highway 3. The smaller towns would be like Burdette, Purple Springs, Tabor.
Okay, Tabor sounds familiar.
So it would be Tabor, Purple Springs, Burdette, Bow Island, Seven Persons, and then Medicine Hat.
Where'd you guys grow up? Oh, well, Mae, you said you came from Fort McMurray?
Yeah, I was born in Fort McMurray, but I grew up in Stuttgart.
Oh, yeah? And you, Pedro?
I was born in Medicine Hat. Or no, I was actually born in Calgary, and then I just lived in there. So.
Oh yeah.
15 minutes that way.
Alberta.
Yeah.
I lived in Medicine Hat. I went to high school there. Good times. You should probably see my name in the prison records. No, just kidding.
And then I was in Medicine Hat for 1 year.
Oh yeah. That's it. You left. That was enough.
It was a boring town. So I said,
you know what's funny is Medicine Hat actually has tumbleweeds, right?
No, I don't remember.
But they have northern lights there too. Northern lights you see in the summertime for sure, and tumbleweeds, just like the cowboy movies. And
I never flew there once. No.
Yeah. Late at night you'd have Tumble Kelly, but that's a different story.
Yeah, Tumble Kelly is when she has more than 4 drinks.
So, Mae and Pedro, are you guys gonna like work out as a duo? Are you gonna try and get some gigs together, like just the two of you, or what's your plan?
I'm sure eventually we'll work together.
We wanted to do something that wasn't all covers, though. We wanted to work on something that was a little more psychobilly, a little more us. That was original music, and that just still in the works while we're learning our instruments.
We're just gonna write a bunch of stuff, and then whatever we prefer is what we'll end up being.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of dating a musician until the lockdown's over, and then at least I can have someone to collaborate with legally.
It doesn't always work, though.
That's the reason why it's working out so good is because we have to work together.
But as soon as this is over, I'm totally ditching this guy, and I'm gonna start my own band.
No, but you guys are lucky though, because it doesn't always work. Like I've dated some musicians, and sometimes the inspiration there's just like some things work, and some other things like creating music was just not there amongst us, and it surprised the hell out of me because I thought it was just a given. Like you're hanging out with someone and you're both playing music together already. and then you decide to just hang out and write, and there's just absolutely nothing there. So you got something special going on, the two of you, and I'm really happy for you. Really happy for you. And I'm glad you invited me into your home. Like, I didn't get to know you that way when it was an informal jam space before the whole COVID thing.
I want to know why there's a toolbox in your living room.
It's part of the.
It's part of their ensemble.
This place is amazing. We got a tiki bar. We got another bar over here. We got our actual like performing.
Can you turn your camera, or is it set on a stand, or can you show us?
I can.
It's an awesome place.
We want to see what it looks like in there.
The tiki bar is awesome.
The tiki bar is outside, but this is our jam space.
Nice. What's that say? Ghost towns. What?
Future ghost towns.
Hey, are you into haunted things?
Sometimes.
You know, okay. Oh, is that Marilyn Monroe back there?
Yeah, she comes to a lot of our jams. Where is she?
Yeah. Where'd you get her?
I got that from a present from my sister.
Oh, nice sister. I love that. I want that. Where's your address?
I'm not posting that. We have a lot of stuff in our house.
Okay, don't show us anymore. Okay, so a few times during this show, I always ask people if they ever, like, because a lot of times as musicians or traveling around doing shows of any sort, I find that we come across a haunted place. Have you guys come across anything haunted when you're out working or entertaining? Or
You did, I think.
There's been a couple places I've played in that were supposedly haunted, like old hotels and stuff. But
you didn't have any experiences, or
with that, I didn't need an exorcist. No,
but have you ever had an experience? Have you ever seen anything or heard any, or even got scared from something that wasn't really a ghost, but at the time you thought it was?
Never really when I was with a band or like in my house. My daughter and I have always been really susceptible to energies and spirits, and it's something that we've always believed in. But
I am not.
One time I was out with friends of ours, and we were at Three Valley Gap, and my roommate stopped in to do a whole the helicopter ride that takes you through the valleys and whatnot. And I didn't go because I'm terrified of little planes. So I just walked to the hotel, and then I felt like when I walked through, there was this person that was sitting there that was extremely gray and really gray hair and really gray skin and just a really gray feeling about it, and just watching the kids. And when I went through and realized that, okay, I'm really in this haunted hotel, and I turned around to look back to go see where this person was and went back through the room, and it was gone. But like, other than that, I don't think I've ever really had any experiences, especially
not on tour.
Not on tour, but it was just traveling around.
I notice on the back of your mantle, you got all these skulls on there. Do any of them have a multi-purpose?
No, they're vodka bottles.
Oh.
These are mine. All right, some of these I've collected on whenever I go like to England or if I go somewhere else. Then some of them, like this one's from Mexico, and then there's a few out there that are actually from other places. So every time I go somewhere, I try and collect a skull.
You know, Wanda makes clothing, bandanas, masks, everything catered to skulls or whatever you want. So if you guys ever, especially for you, Mae, with all your beautiful costumes and stuff you wear, she could make you like tailored masks to go with all your costumes.
Yeah, because she's not busy enough.
She only has 10 jobs right now. What are you talking about?
That's right.
To be my costume designer.
You know what? I would love to have a stylist because I have no style. Like, as far as my appearance goes, I'm just it's funny. I don't think I have any talents with my makeup or hair because it doesn't matter what colors or how I do my hair or what tools I use. It ends up the same.
Maybe you
gotta let it. You can't wash it.
Yeah, dirty. Like I'll come and do your hair, but I want 3 days of dirt, no washing it.
Yeah.
And then come to your hair, and I'll show you how really easy it is to do. The dirtier, the better.
You gotta be greasy.
Gotta be greasy.
Yeah, you know what? I can go almost 2 weeks till I get greasy. Just saying. I should write a song. We should write a song. Almost 2 weeks till I get greasy. Oh my God. I don't know what it's like.
You and Bob are out of here now.
What do you got to say, Wanda? Tell us, dude. I love her laugh. Hey, it's just so nice.
Whose laugh?
Yours.
Oh, was I laughing? I'm like totally brain dead today, you know, from getting up and having to deal with my frozen water lines and then working. I'm just like,
I'm just saying, Wanda, if anything ever happens, I always have a spare room for you.
oh, and hot water that runs.
Hot water, and I'm alone, so you're allowed to come here.
Ah. Thank you.
You don't want it, baby. I'm right here.
It's a bit of a drive, though, because like all my work is out here, not in Calgary. So
true that.
Yeah.
It's better than freezing to death.
What's that?
I said it's better than freezing to death, though.
True.
Yeah. Because you don't want, like one time, you know how you get frost on your hair when you're out in the cold, extreme cold? Well, one time I got it and I thought that I had frostbite on my pubic hair because it had all the frost on it.
What?
What are you doing running around naked in that kind of cold?
What are you exposing?
I'm glad you asked that. Why were you outside when it was that cold and naked?
I used to work at Red Lobster, and one
that explains it. That totally explains it right there.
And I went into the walk-in freezer, and it's the middle of. It was cold, and I went in there, and it was so slippery. I did the splits, and I told everyone I sprained my vagina, right at work. So, because I felt like it, like ow, right? So, anyway, so then every time I came to work, everyone asked how it was. Right? Every time I came to work, I had a new excuse. Like one time I said, oh, well, one lip's lower than the other. I had a And then another time I said the frost.
I think Mae just fell on the floor.
Yeah, she doesn't want you to see what's going on over here.
Well, then every time I came to work, I had to think of a new thing that happened to it.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
I gotcha.
Do you ever get stuck to the pole though?
Boss, I can't come to work today. I sprained my vagina.
No, it had a stroke. There's one lip hanging down lower than the other one. I know, I'm sick. I'm sorry. Maybe I should take a break. I think I'm getting sober. I think that's. It's because Wanda's tired, and I have to tell you all the funny parts. Wanda, talk. Wanda, stop me. Somebody stop me.
I want to hear some more music.
You're the one with the controls.
I want to hear some more music. Can you guys play us another song?
This is for Bob.
We can do one more.
Yay! Wrong way, Kelly. There you go.
You're punching Mae though, because I'm next to her.
I just ripped your heart out of your chest.
We're getting another tune. Yes.
Bob doesn't like me anymore. You know what? COVID made Bob not like me anymore. And he says mean things to me now. I don't understand it.
Okay, well, we're going to a musical interlude now, Kelly.
Wipe us off.
Well, as soon as they start playing, they're in.
All right.
How's a Ricky Nelson song?
Right on. Thank you. I'm having another beer. Anyway, I wanted to say something about the day I showed up at your place, because it was all so cryptic in the sense that Felix was like, "Oh, just meet us over there," right? And the guy's name is Aaron or Rose. Rose. He said Rose, right? And then Aaron shows up and he says, "Oh yeah, I'm Rose," and it's like, "Oh okay." I had no idea I was going to y'all's place. First of all, I was going to whatever. Anyway, I walk in and there's the jam space and everything else, and I catch the vibe, and then I realize it's your place, right? I was like, "Oh wow, okay, great." But like the Wanda and Kelly, they do the tarot card readings and all that, and I'm not really that, but I can feel when I'm in a happy environment, and that's exactly what hit me the day I showed up there. It was like, "Oh, this is such a cool place," but it's the people that make the place, right?
Oh,
you guys have a cool thing going. Friggin' jealous sometimes too, because it's been such a long time.
Come on over and get happy.
Everybody's welcome.
We'll do that when we can.
Right on.
Anyway, that's my tarot card reading of like.
Well, I gotta say, you know what, Mae? When you're playing, I love that you're constantly smiling. It's you don't see that a lot with musicians, right? They just they make their little face. You're just always smiling so beautifully. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mae, you're not only beautiful on the exterior, I can just feel your inner beauty. So just the more you are yourself, the more beautiful you will appear. And so obviously you're being yourself when you're playing music. So you should really stick with it. For sure.
Yes.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
she has no choice.
You know what? I've been a lot of years without music. I got married to someone who was kind of jealous of whenever I played music. He kind of made me feel guilty, like I was choosing it over him or something. And it was not, I actually, that ended my marriage was music, because after so many years, you just can't repress who you are, right? And so I said, well, sorry, I choose it.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Second. No.
And it is. I mean, I've witnessed this with so many musicians where, especially when it's the woman who's the musician, like it's really hard to handle if you're the guy, because like everybody wants to talk to her and everything else, and you're just sitting back there going like, well, what about me? I've seen it so many times where it's been such a hard time for the spouse to be out there when your girl is getting all the attention, or vice versa. Right?
Men are terrible when a woman is in a band.
Even sometimes it's hard to have a spouse playing and you're in the audience. I find there sometimes you feel left out because you have to be part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's more they feel left out. I
couldn't get a kick out of it. Like, even though like he plays it like with Peter and the Wolves when they're at shows, and people like when we go out and about, a lot of people really don't know that we're exactly together. And there's sometimes like sitting at a table and he'll be on stage and a fan will catcall from behind me, and I'll kind of sit there and keep my mouth shut and let it go. Like I'm not going to ruin her bubble. And then later on, like during a smoke break or whatever, we'll go outside and people will see us together, and then they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that like I said that to your man." And I just like I kind of get a kick out of it. Like it's
I'm busy playing bass.
Right? What they say, what you hear about the girls say in the bathroom about the band members on stage.
I've had my boyfriend's really good looking, and I found that women and men will hit on him in front of me and just pretty much proclaim that they're here to steal him from me.
Yeah.
And one of this guy is trying to steal my boyfriend, and he says to my boyfriend, he goes, "I could do things for you that she could never do." I go, "What are you talking about? I got a curling iron." He just went, "Oh," and ran. It's funny, hey? Like I think if you're just happy that you have a connection with that person and can laugh about it. I think that's ideal, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Good times, hey? I tell you, I have dated musicians and played gigs with them, and there are some great highs and great times with them. But I do find you gotta really stay true to yourself off stage as well, because I find we're kind of introverts when we're not performing. Like we need both those sides. So I don't know. We kind of tend to wind each other up a bit. So
yeah.
Oh, you're pretty easy to wind up.
You're pretty social people.
Yeah, we're pretty social, and everything that we do, like we're always either with each other or we're on the phone. Like if he's on tour and gone away with the band and I'm not there, like he's still messaging me and talking to me the whole way through. And sometimes like I've been on little tours with them, so I kind of know what to expect when they're gone and away. So
it's the smell is what you expect.
It's the smell, but like
the van.
When you're with somebody and you them and you talk about everything and you share everything, and also when you're with the band and you know them and you become a family with everybody, like it's not just him, it's with the band too and the rest of them,
right?
Like, I trust in all of these guys, and they're all of my friends and the girls too. So like there is when they're out and about doing their thing,
you know how lucky all the musicians are that they have spouses in that mindset. I'm telling you, you guys are very lucky, especially if you're bandmates and you're all the wives. I'm telling you, if you guys have a nice connection like that, that's rare. That's nice.
Yeah, and it's actually lucky that with like how many bands that he plays with and that we play with together, like we're all really good friends.
Yeah.
Like outside of it, and like we're a little family, and we all know everything about each other.
Not everything.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things. You know, one of the things about like the blues scene where you think like you feel, or I felt anyway, where it's like, oh, a lot of people are interchangeable in that thing. But the community in the blues scene is not tight like y'all are in the rockabilly scene.
That's
like,
true.
I can't believe how tight knit everybody is, like as a whole, right? And it's like, and I've witnessed it with, you know, it's like, oh man, you know, like with Aaron, it's like, oh shit, I'm underage, they won't let me in. Boom, there's another drummer right away. You know what I mean? And nobody's jealous or upset or anything like that. It just works out, and because you all know each other and you all appreciate the same things. And I think it's a great community. And like for those who don't get to witness the inside of it, it's so down to earth human connections that are getting rarer and rarer these days. I'd say, really.
The old school mentality is really what.
Okay, so I just want to interject because I started laughing when I read this, and I want you guys to read it too, because Bob was talking about how cold it was. So here's one. Tell Bob it's the term is it's as cold as the balls on a brass monkey.
Right. And so for those who don't know at all what it is, this goes back to when there was wooden sailing ships were the warships, and they had these cannons and these massive balls that were like the cannonball, right?
Yeah.
And where they would store them on the deck of the ship was called a brass monkey, and they would store them as a pyramid in this holder that was the same size as the ball. But when it got cold, the brass monkey would shrink more, and then the balls would fall off and roll all over the deck. And those things were like 10, 12, or 14 or 20 pounds or whatever. They were huge, right? And that created chaos. What was that, Kelly?
I said the balls would roll over the deck.
They would roll, yeah, and create chaos. Can you imagine? Like you were trying to avoid a gas tank in the back of
it. Reminds me of when I went to my aunt and uncle's, and they live in the nudist colony outside of Toronto. And my aunt and uncle were close when we went to visit, but of course, no one else cared if we were his relatives. So we'd go to the clubhouse, and it was summertime and stuff, and you'd see people playing pool, and when they're like 70 playing pool, you know, I think that was the same thing that you're talking about. What was that again? The monkey's balls. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really hard to follow your connections there, Kelly, you know?
Well, because I was thinking of balls rolling off the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I was out there, and they were playing pool, and things are just not right.
Yeah, I can see how it was.
Most nudists don't look good naked.
It sounds like the real lesson here is the long-term effects of having those visuals are way greater than you'd assume.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting to see it. You know, I turned my head there.
And to affect you this much further down in the future.
It's like that Seinfeld episode where that guy saw that chick like opening that jar and it turned him off. Like he thought, oh, this woman likes to walk around naked in my apartment all the time. How lucky am I? And then she like bared down on a jar of something, and then that was it. It was ruined for him. So I'm saying, when you go to a nudist colony, there's a lot of those moments.
It ruins it.
Right, because you've been, and I guess, well, I haven't.
I've been to a nudist beach once.
Yeah? How was it?
That's
Actually, okay, here's a little thing that happened. So when I lived in France in my youth, the local swimming pool, all the girls were topless, and that was just normal.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I should have looked more. You know? Like it was just, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and you don't pay attention because it's normal. And now it's like I just have so few memories when I should have been stocking up on a bunch at that time, not knowing it would become such a rare commodity, let's say.
You know, I tried it once. I went topless on a beach in Mexico. I thought I'd try it. I was with my boyfriend. What's the big deal? I thought it'd be freeing. And it was until like by the fifth waiter, I said, this ain't right. It's like all of a sudden, all the hotel staff was on the beach asking me if I needed something. I was like, maybe it isn't as common as I thought here.
No, not really.
But I liked it. It was nice because you could feel the breeze, you know.
And you don't think you're going to see any of those people tomorrow anyways. Because
it was the way they're looking at me. They made me feel uneasy, you know. It wasn't just like, do you need anything? It was like, do you need anything? It was a little more, I don't know. Like all within 5 minutes? Like, come on. That was too many. Started making me feel self-conscious. Here I thought it was free to the world, and then they all came in and like vultures.
But isn't it legal out here to walk around topless and no one actually does it?
Yeah, like when they announced it in Toronto, and I think it was in the paper, my aunt was like on the bridge in the newspaper with her shirt off. Like,
yeah, it does it over here.
She's like the first one. All right, woo!
And now
I'm okay with it, but you just get too many stares. It'd be like, I don't know, like going, you know, giving yourself a little paper cut or a little cut and then jumping into a tank of sharks.
Well, it's not something new to people doing out here. So around here, you'd still be socially judged. Whether you did.
Yeah.
But if you all did it.
If we all did it, if we were all on board with it.
We all had boobs hanging. I don't know. They just, you know what? And then we're tucking them in our belt, you know?
Oh, that's where you want to go with it?
It's like, oh, where'd my boob go? Oh, it's in my pocket. What the hell? Anyway, sorry.
Well, sounds like we've reached that part of the show again.
I should probably cut you guys loose, hey? What do you say? You got anything else to tell us?
Yeah, I do. So if the world opens up and we are allowed to have events happening on April 9th, 10th, and 11th at the BMO Center is World of Wheels, and I will be hosting the Greaser Boy contest on Sunday the 11th at 2 o'clock. And there's a
Bob will be there,
right? Bob will be in it.
Bob will be in it.
You're on stage.
Got to register.
Okay, that's news to me, but right on.
Okay. So this is, tell me again. So that it's like some people, as soon as you started saying it, then people go, I want to go. So just say it one more time.
World of Wheels is happening at the BMO Center in Calgary from April 9th, 10th, and 11th. And on the 10th is the Pinup Girl Contest, and you can contact True North Pinup Magazine to enter if you want to go in. They usually pick about 20 girls. And then on Sunday, the 11th, I will be hosting the Greaser Boy Contest, usually around 2 o'clock. And again, all the guys can enter with True North Pinup Magazine on Instagram or Facebook or True North Pinup Magazine.
Okay. Well, I have a question for you then. So right before the event is going to happen, I think you should come back on and we should get people on board. Is there any voting from other people that helps you win? Or can we do anything?
Well, sometimes we do have a crowd vote at the actual show, and we go on placings with the pinup girls, like best hair, best outfit, overall pinup, and then Miss World of Wheels. And then the guys for the Greaser Guy contest, it's first, second, and third. So I'm not sure how they're going to work it this year with how we can get crowds to actually come in and take a look if it's an online thing or if we're actually going to have people there. So once the date is closer and I know more from Speed and Glory, they will let us know, and then we'll post it to everywhere.
Right. Hey, Wanda, do you think you and I should go and do a little bit of video coverage and then we'll put it on our next show after it?
Yeah, we could do that.
Me and Wanda are going to come cheer you on. So make sure you remind us because we're old and we forget shit.
I will. And one more thing before we go. Future Ghost Towns has our album out, and we you can private message us for all of us. It's our first album of original tracks.
Okay, so let me just do something here. So if they were going to private message you, what's your official name on Facebook? Because on this, it just says practice.
Yeah, it's Miss Mae De Light.
Miss?
Mae De Light on Instagram.
DELIGHT.
Yeah, or you can get a hold of us at futureghosttowns.com and we can make sure that you get a copy of our album.
Or Future Ghost Towns.
I'm buying
so
I'm one for sure.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
That's
personal message, Miss Mae De Light, and she'll tell you everything she just told us personally. And then you can make arrangements with her for tickets or just send her presents. I don't know.
Mate, just put it in the
Miss Mae De Light. You got
put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments
about the Future Ghost Town album. Put it in the comments on the Facebook thread right now.
Yeah, get her done. Get her done.
The links in there.
Look down below.
Exactly. Or
look down below. That's sick.
Get that?
You said that I was sick. Now I hear you. Look down below. Look. Oh. I think I need to eat a donut. Oh, geez. Okay, well, it was so awesome to see you guys. So we want you to come. Oh, Wanda just posted it because she's amazing.
Thank you, love.
Okay, so you're coming back on right before the show. Whatever Monday is before that show, you should come back on and we'll promote the heck out of it. Any of your events. Okay? So just it's easier if you just come on for a few minutes and tell us about it. And then everyone knows, and then we can meet you there, and me and Wanda will just cheer.
Well, we can link all the guys in the band, everybody that's in the band, we can get you all on here at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it'll be so much fun because me and Wanda, when you're doing that contest,
it's Wanda night.
Yeah, when you're doing that pinup girl contest is it a car show? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it is a car show.
So me and Wanda are going to come cover that.
Wanda and I.
Oh, and maybe you could give us tips on how to look like a pinup girl over there, so we could play the part. Because I
got lots of clothes.
Okay. We're kind of come as pinup girls in your honor.
Wanda, I've seen some of your closet collections. I'm sure you have some perfect dresses.
I can do it.
All I have is sweatpants.
COVID pants.
I miss not wearing dresses. This really sucks. So you can't go out. And I guess I could dress up for myself.
Cha cha cha. Okay, we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Hey, Bob.
I'm gonna keep her up though.
She's beautiful.
Keep her up. Keep her up. That's nice. I like it.
She's such a delight.
Yeah.
She is.
In May.
Well, you guys got that right. Future Ghost Towns album is out.
Totally fine.
Wanda's tired. What time is it? It's a 10 to 10 already, Wanda.
Oh God, I have to be up at 5:30 to go to work again tomorrow.
Okay, so if anyone, if it's your garbage night, take your cans out now, or you will forget. No, just kidding.
Oh yeah, what was that, Bob? Where am I working?
At 5 a.m.
Well, I have to be in Pritis because I open up the cafe tomorrow morning for coffee and breakfast. So if anybody feels like coming out to Pritis
at the water's edge.
Well, I'm at Jane's Cafe. You'll be at Water's Edge.
At the pub. She's at Jay's Cafe, which is adjoined. And actually, at 4 p.m., I'll be arriving at the pub. And they said that they're going to keep Wanda all night, I think. No, I'm joking. They didn't say that. I just said that to shock you.
Good Lord.
So I'll be there tomorrow night. And then Wednesday night, me and Wanda are working together at the Water's Edge Pub on wing night.
Wanda and I.
You know, Bob, you're like kind of a buzzkill, you know?
Did you just see my post today, Kelly?
Which one? Remind me.
A post that I don't know, somebody pulled up and they were turning around in my driveway today and I got so excited. I seriously grabbed a couple of beers. I thought, oh my God, I got visitors.
There was someone
outside and they were gone.
You were turning around in your
Wanda's standing outside with 2 beers in her hand and nobody to drink it with.
Hey, did you notice I got my hair done?
No.
Look, it's a different color.
Beautiful.
Right.
And it's way shorter.
And it says Kelly with her new hairdo. Hint, hint.
Hey, if I got a lot of hair, it takes 3 hours.
I know, it's called vanity.
No, 3 hours at the hair salon. It takes me, I shower, and in less than an hour, I can be showered and ready to go. So
how about you, Bob?
Doesn't matter to me.
Got to wash his nuts and get out. No?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Well, yeah, doesn't that really suck, eh? I thought somebody was actually visiting me today.
You know what? My mom used to get so, if someone turned around in our driveway, my mom used to get so excited thinking we had company. I get it.
That was me today. I was like, yes, I got visitors.
I'm looking forward to working with you on Wednesday and wing night.
Yeah, Wednesday wing night.
Water.
I know, I got a busy week. I'm in Prentice all week. I'm at the border crossing Friday night, you guys. Yeah. And it's my birthday.
What? On the 12th.
It's my birthday on Friday. You better come and bring me a cake, Kelly. I want a vanilla.
I have to work at the pub because you're not there.
I want a vanilla cake with coconut icing.
How late do you work? How late do you work till?
I'll bring it.
What time do I work till Friday?
Yeah.
Well, we're only allowed to stay open till 11, right? Doors have got to be locked. No people in there.
What time am I working till? I asked you.
I don't know.
What time do you open till? 10? 11? 9? Friday?
10.
10. All right. Well, we'll see.
I think.
So anything else for the fine folks out in the internet watching us?
Well, I didn't hear anything back about the mask thing.
The mask thing. What you talking about?
Who did you ask? Did you ask the mask if the mask was going to show up or what?
No, I asked what people thought about people in the driving around the vehicles with a mask on and there's no one in it. I'm like, there's something I don't know about.
I know I'm not getting comments today. What the hell? Where's all the hey, you guys?
Okay. I got a ton of them. I don't know what you're talking about, Willis.
Kelly, if you're wondering.
Oh, look, Bob, you got a message here. What's it say? You got Lynn's Nintendo in the background. Oh, hey, cool.
No, it's Mae and Pedro's base.
Yeah, that's Mae. That's our guest that we just had there, Casecraft. And this is what Wanda posted for them. Future Ghost Town of album is available.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the bowls thing. We got that taken care of.
Did you catch the part about Aaron being too young to play?
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
I missed it.
So yeah, this was like last summer it was really weird because it was last summer at Broken City. Future Ghost Town, Aaron's in it and he's not 18, but they knew that and they had to like do a whole bunch of special provisions to make sure that they were okay with him being in the band on stage playing, still being not 18 yet. So that was all in the works. And then Felix is like, oh, hey, we got a gig, blah, 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 like a week earlier before that gig. So he hires Aaron to like play stand-up so that Felix can play guitar and I could, or play drums. I forget, one of the two. Because Aaron's, again, one of those whiz kids that can touch anything and it just works out. And so we practiced, the three of us. And the day of the show, I don't see Aaron. I'm going like, what the hell happened? And it's like, well, because they couldn't, and everybody knew, like the management knew, and they said, look, we haven't had the approval yet for Future Ghost Town, so we can't like risk having you come up a week before and play on the stage and break the rules that haven't been made yet. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So that was the story about Aaron, but he's like one of the main cats in Future Ghost Town and the Velvet Betties that Pedro and Mae are part of as well.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, that's a quick story about that. And now about the cold thing. You remember how you were saying, like, I was going to tell you a story about cold, about how cold it could get, right? And we never got to that. But this is a New Year's Eve that happened, I'm going to say like 1997 or 1998. It's a really long story, but I'm just going to cut to the really short part about the cold. This happened out east. We're like driving in a snowstorm to a New Year's Eve gig. And at the end, right before we get to where we're supposed to be, it's like a 3-hour drive. This is like along the north shore of the St. Lawrence, going east from Quebec City. And it's just snowing and it's crazy. And we get on the ferry and the wind's blowing like crazy. And suddenly and the ferry's like just like a 5-minute ferry. It's a short river that you have across, but they never built a bridge, right? And we're on the ferry and I was like, okay, let's go inside and like get some hot coffee or something, right? And as we step out of the car, the wind was so strong that it would blow these big waves on the deck, right? So you'd get soaked. And so you look back on your windshield and suddenly you had like 2 inches of ice that had instantly formed on the windshield because it was like minus 30 and windy like crazy. And so the water would blow on the deck and it would just like freeze on the spot, right? So suddenly now, while on this really short ferry ride, we had to like scrape our windshields like mad and try and break all this ice off just so that when we got to the other side, we had to like be able to get off and have like a clear windshield, right? Because the heaters weren't like strong enough to be able to melt 2 inches of ice while it's minus 30 and blowing outside. So finally we get to the other side and we get off the ferry. What is it? It's a big hill right in front of us. So you can imagine like people are trying to like take a run at it, right? To go up the hill. And when you're not the first car, it's like, oh man, you're looking at, and like you can just see the whole situation's like going, and then the first vehicle starts going sideways and you're like, oh, well, I need to take a run at it too. So you take a run at it and you try and go around them and hopefully you don't get stuck. Anyway, it all worked out, but it was seriously like minus 30 and just blowing wind. And we had to like break off big chunks of ice that would just instantly freeze on the windshield. That's my super cold story, besides the minus 45 in Fort Mac.
Holy shit.
But
it's
yeah.
minus 45 in my house right now.
Oh.
John's minus 45 right now.
What's that?
John, he's up on BC Northwest Territory, kind of, I don't know. He's up there, and it's minus 45 where he's working.
Well, I know when I left Pritis tonight, it was minus 35 in my car.
So what, you got no heat in your house or just no hot water? Or how's that?
Well, no, I have heat, but what I had to do, so I have a crawl space right by my bathroom, and it goes underneath my bathroom, and I've had to take a fan, and I put a big square fan over the space that goes into the crawl space to draw all the heat in there. So the rest of the house is like fucking cold, man. I'm like,
yeah.
And I would have had a fire, but I had no time to build a fire tonight because I had to get on here.
Well, do it now after.
No, I'm just
my
calling
son
my
said,
blankets.
I thought of a new COVID test. Like, this is the COVID test, and it's free. Because they say that you kind of lose your sense of smell and taste. You get COVID, right? So the other day I wasn't feeling under the weather, and I thought every time you get a little slight bug, you think, do I have COVID? Am I COVID? Am I going to die? Should I get my affairs in order? Like, fuck, right? So stressful when you get anything. You think there's something wrong with COVID.
Right.
So my son says, well, he goes, you know, you lose your sense of smell and taste. He goes, can you smell your farts? I just thought that was so funny. So I thought, you could go places and just rip out rank, quiet ones, and then everyone goes, oh. And then you go, what? That person doesn't have COVID?
What? Are you volunteering to do the COVID test that way?
Anyone that's mad at you doesn't have COVID.
Is that your new volunteer job there, Kelly? You're just going to fart in public places to call out the ones that don't smell it?
If someone doesn't notice it, then I'm going to know they got COVID. I'm going to keep my distance,
You know what really sucks? That I missed Laurie Ann's interview here today.
You can watch it.
Oh, that's okay. It happens. No more Mondays. How was work tonight? What happened?
It was quiet. I think it was too fucking cold.
It's too cold. Yeah, I know. I'll be there tomorrow freezing my ass by myself. So
yeah. Well, props to Laurie and Mae and Pedro tonight, though. Like, thank you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
These are some of the great people I've met through the whole community of musicians.
I know. It's amazing. Amazing who you can meet.
Yeah, when you're walking down the street, not likely, because it's minus 30, blah, blah, blah.
And it's COVID.
It's COVID.
You're on lockdown now, folks.
That's
down.
That same night that I was talking about with the ferry, with the water freezing on the windshield, we got to the hotel, which was just past the hill. And so, because everybody was staying it was the youth hostel we were playing at, and everybody was going to stay there. But I was like, no, I'm staying in a hotel because I do want my sleep at some point. Once you want to be part of the fun, and then you want to be able to bail out and not the fun follow you into your room kind of thing. Anyway, so there's two things. The hotel guy, the guy who ran the hotel, it was so scary. His eyes were so bulgy. I was like trying to make sure they didn't fall out. Like, I'm telling you, it was like, you know what I mean? Like super bulgy, like just stick it. You'd think they would just pop out. It was unreal. Anyway, and they're like, and plus he's like, oh my God, you guys are here, right? All impressed with his eyes wide open. I was like, no, close your eyes so they don't fall out, right?
Where was this again?
This was it's a place called Tadoussac, which is like on the north shore of the St. Lawrence River. In the summer, it's beautiful. You go whale watching there. But in the winter, it's something else. Anyway.
Anyway, what's your point, Bob? Tell us.
On the way, so then we had to walk from the hotel to the youth hostel where we were playing, and there's a whole other story behind that, but I'm not going to tell that tonight. The wind was against us, and the guy was saying, like, I was saying minus 30. He says, no, it's like minus 40 right now, and with the windshield, it's minus 55. And so we had to walk uphill against the wind, and I'm serious, like we were slanted this way, trying to crawl over and not slide, right? Because we're walking on snow, just like not standing up straight. I'm talking like slanted forward, just whoa, trying to like make it through. It was a short walk. It was only like, 150 yards or something like that. But oh man, what a long walk it felt, because like plus you're not like, you want to take a big coat, but at the same time, you're going to take it off once you're inside, and you don't want to have like too much paraphernalia. Plus,
and then somebody spills it on you.
Huh? Look, we had I had one of the most incredible dinners there, because one of the things that it was a 7-course meal. It was all game, right? Meaning
wild meat.
Yeah, but and also fish and stuff like that. But the whole thing was that because it was a youth hostel and the food was donated by Native Indians, they're allowed to hunt stuff. They're allowed to hunt. No, I'm drinking beer. What do you think?
You're just like rambling on. You're like that little mouse in the old cartoons. It just goes starts with one story. But then
I want to hear the end of the story now.
I know it always lasts longer because I get interrupted. Anyway, the point is, 7-course meal, and I ate food that I would never be able to eat anywhere else because it was served by Native Indians who are allowed to hunt game that restaurants and other and that are not for hunting for anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I can't remember what all the meals were, or what all the courses were, but it was all unique to that area. You know, like, I mean, it would be like rabbit and seal and you know, stuff like that you would never be able to eat because it's off limits. Like you can't have. But the Indians are allowed, and they were providing for that. And that's, again, just a small part of that whole New Year's Eve story, which I'll come back to some other time when it's appropriate.
Well, that's pretty wild.
Yeah,
I don't like wild meat.
It was such a wild night. It was like one of those you can't recreate that. And I don't know if it ever happened again.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah. It was, you know, when all these kinds of circumstances just like happen. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't really like wild game. I'm not a wild game eater.
It was all little portions, and you know, it's not like you had a huge steak of venison or something, because it was 7-course. It was all little tiny portions, and man, it was so well prepared. I thought, you know, it was like a 3-star restaurant, and we were in a friggin' youth hostel, like something that you wouldn't have. And
oh yeah,
none of this was expected. I had no expectations of. I thought, you know, the food would be like some kind of cafeteria food, and that's it. You know, they said they would feed us, and that's it. There was no other details. But it turned out to be like this really exclusive 7-course meal of all wild game or animals, because there was seafood included too. But it was all stuff that was protected. But but the natives were allowed to hunt it because that's their prerogative, being on the ground, and that's what was provided to us.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, story's over for now. I haven't bored you to death.
Not at all. I don't know. I think that's I'm just sad that I miss Laurie. So we're gonna have to get her back on here again when I'm on here.
You can watch it tomorrow or whenever you get a chance.
Tomorrow, do it again?
Well, this is on.
Oh, watch it.
Yes.
Okay, lack of sleep here, right?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Mae just posted about the Future Ghost Town album and email.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There you go.
Excellent. Yeah, everybody better check this out, man. Future Ghost Towns is awesome.
And Peter and the Wolves too, by the way.
Oh,
Peter
yes.
is like definitely one of those super talented guys that like just has it together. Like seems to be born with it together. Just like actually Mae and you know, it's funny that Mae never played until like a couple of years ago, because you know what I mean? How do you when this kind of talent is within you and you discover it, you kind of wonder, how come you didn't know this before? You've been yourself all your life, right? I mean, it's like, but it's all about opportunities, right? And there's some musicians out there who don't even know that they're musicians, that they're actually talented musicians, like born with a head start kind of musician. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm you know how we had Lisa on last week?
Right.
I still have a recording of her and Abby. That's when I was telling you, like she was playing bass with on a gig that Abby and I and Willie did out in. I videotaped the whole thing, and I just watched it today, and it was it's still way up there. Like the two of them together were just so, like individually they're just so strong. Like Abby's phenomenal as an individual, right? Like as a singer, she's just like incredibly powerful. Lisa, the same, right? And she was playing bass, and oh my God, this show just, and it was like a completely unrehearsed show in the sense that I don't know who, like, I never rehearsed any of them. I mean, we did jam and stuff, but, and so I'm watching Lisa to cue me and stuff like that. But man, did it ever sound good. I'm going to piece together something just to play it on this because
next week for sure.
Because there's definitely some magical moments. The two of them singing together was just, you know what I mean? It's not the sum, but the square of it, right? Where it doesn't just add up that it's twice as better. It's like 4 times as good when the two of them like meet up. And you know, everybody goes their own way and everything else, and it has their own path. Actually, by the way, Abby's Abby's recording right now their second Gone Cosmic album.
So you should book her for next week.
Me?
Yeah. Get a hold of her.
Yeah, maybe not next week. Well, we'll see. Like,
what do we have next week? Actually, next week, guys, we have Corey Baskin coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have Kim Hackett, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. She's a Reiki master. Or
nice. I find that exciting. I find reading energy is pretty cool.
Yeah. But I think, we lost Bob again. I think that it's time we say goodbye. Where did Bob go?
I'm so glad we had this time
together just to have a laugh and sing a song
or two.
And before you know it, the show is over.
Yeah, remember, get ready for your ending pose.
Oh, yeah.
So